Hey kids, you're listening to the internet's wettest podcast about video games, consoles, and pancakes. The SML Podcast.
Prepare for the SML Podcast.
What's up, everybody? This is the SML Podcast. I am your host, Joe. Today we have Aki and Bri here because Jacob's late.
Yep.
So in his place, we've hired someone new, Gareth Noyce of AAA, joining the show for the first time since 2016, where you joined us originally to chat about Lumo. You're now here to chat about Lumo 2. How's things going?
Yeah, good. Long day, but yeah, all good. And it's a pleasure to be back. It has literally been a decade.
It has. How have you been in the past 10 years?
I've had like an entire life.
Yeah, I bet.
Busy, pretty good. Moved country a couple of times. Yeah, it's like it was kind of freaky when you emailed me, actually, because it was just like, oh wow. The last time we spoke, things were like completely different. And I actually kind of went back over the old podcast as well, just to sort of, what were we talking about? And that just seems like a lifetime away. It's kind of freaky.
I have a hard time going back listening to my old episodes because I sound so different now.
I guess your voice changes as you get older, doesn't it? Is it just the whiskey and the cigars?
It's the weed. It's all the weed.
Oh, well, there we go. Yeah. That would do it. That would do it.
Indeed.
THC vapes. There you go. That's the future.
So, Lumo 2, what was the path to get from Lumo to Lumo 2? What was in between, and how did you get here?
Let me try and remember what happened 10 years ago. Lumo came out, and that was... I guess that was a bit of a surprise how well that ended up doing, actually. Because in my head, when I started it, it was just like a little thing. And it sort of grew arms and legs and took on a bit of a life. But I bounced off of that, and I started working on... Actually, it was an FPS. I wanted to do like they call them boomer shooters now. But it was before that had really been coined, and I started working on an FPS just to learn Unreal Engine. And I was working with an old friend on the art side, but he got ill, and he kind of just had to stop working for a couple of years. So I ended up like canning that, and I made a little arcade shoot 'em up as a thing for my students, which was Seekonoid, which came out, and that was, I only spent like 60 days on that. And that was kind of just like a fun thing to do. And then I started working on basically a top-down Zelda. If you think like Link to the Past or Link Between Worlds, that top-down Zelda thing. And I was looking around to try and get that signed, because that's probably got like another couple of years worth of dev left to do on it. And I started chatting to the old publisher for Lumo. Although he'd left the original company, he was at a different company called Numskull. And chatting to him down the pub, I was kind of talking about what Menhir was and what the plans were, and what sort of cash I would kind of need to finish it. And he just kind of asked, "Well, have you thought about doing Lumo 2?" And honestly, I hadn't really, because I kind of thought that I'd done everything I could kind of do with it on the first one. But I started thinking about it, and it was like, well, the first game was kind of focused quite heavily on like the ZX Spectrum, Amstrad CPC, isometric games, which you may not know much about. I don't think either of those computers really hit the States. I think you had the Spectrum as a Timex, maybe.
As a ColecoVision,
and then I started thinking, well,
yeah, I had a Commodore 64, I think is probably our best analog to it. I actually looked it up before the show because I saw one of your old AMAs and you were talking about the Spectrum, and I get into the history of the games. So I was kind of nerding out over that because, we definitely didn't have that over here.
Yeah, I think it was Timex. It was branded as Timex when it went over to the States. And it was a clone, effectively. It wasn't quite the same machine. And it wouldn't have been popular. It would have just been like a cheap thing you got from Radio Shack or something. Mm-hmm. I never really touched on any of the 64 stuff in Lumo. And when I started thinking about it, I was like, well, actually, there's a few like iconic C64 things I could kind of take the piss out of, and but they're all, I mean, it's still focused more on like the European games, not so much the American C64 stuff, and I don't know how much of it travelled, so a lot of the references in Lumo 2 you probably wouldn't get, because things like Whizball and stuff, they were massive in Europe, but I don't know how far they went over the States, if they went there at all. You might have had things like Iridium and Paradroid and some of those. And I kind of started thinking, well, actually, yeah, there is some other stuff to mine in there. There's some more 8-bit stuff. There's a few of the isometric games that I didn't really touch on the first one that I could kind of reference. And I'd got a grip of Unreal at that point. And it was like, well, yeah, I can make this look a lot better than the first one now, like rendering tech and everything's moved on. My art skills have moved on as well. And it started sort of bubbling away a bit, and I was kind of like, yeah, I could do something with this. So I sort of met up with Martin again. We had a few more beers, and yeah, he offered to put the money up to do it, and went from there really. So that would have been a couple of years ago. The intention was sort of to do it in 18 months, but I got about halfway through it and I was like, actually, there's loads of stuff I kind of want to do here. So I pushed it out by another 3-4 months. And yeah, it's been done really since like February. So I've kind of, in my head, I've sort of moved on from it. I'm on another thing now. But we had to hold it back for publishing boring reasons, really, and to wait to get the marketing sorted. So, I think it was due to come out in like June, July. So,
are you worried that coming out now around all these big high-profile releases might do damage compared to releasing back in June?
No, not massively. I mean, if we'd have come out in June, literally no one would have known it existed. I made a bit of a mistake. So what I did with the Lumo was I just, I was hitting screenshots Saturday, and, Twitter was not a shit show at that point. So I was, talking about it. Yeah, don't we all? Reddit hadn't gone up its arse. I was just pretty open and public about it. But when we signed it, we all sat down and had a conversation about it, and I kind of wanted to do the same thing, just post all the time. But the guy who was kind of in as the sort of product manager was like, no, we want to hold it back and do like a proper announce and, do an old school thing. Which in hindsight was fucking stupid. Like we should have just been talking about it constantly. Which meant there was, when we got to like January and it hadn't really been announced and there hadn't been a plan, I was kind of like, look, you got to hold it back. You got to do something with it. No, otherwise it's just going to pop out and disappear. Would it ever be affected by like the big releases? Like, it's a small game, isn't it? Like, does it really matter? I mean, if it came out the same week as GTA, yeah, it'd be fucked. And arguably, if it came out the same week as Silk Song, it wouldn't do much. But I'm not really in competition with those,
True.
It's
very true.
I think the people that would want it will, be interested in it regardless of what else is out that week. I mean, it's a weird one at the minute anyway, isn't it? Because like everyone's sort of limited on the cash front, and a lot of the big games are like stupid money. So how many games are people buying at the minute? Full stop.
No.
I'm more caught up in that, I think, than worrying about what's gonna take the sort of coverage. And to be fair, like you think of like all of the websites and places there were to talk about a game 10 years ago, and like compared to what's around now, like where do you actually market stuff anyway? It's
so many of those outlets are gone. Everything is a podcast now because of us. We started the trend. Or they all followed
you're
us.
Paying like 20 grand to some streamer to play it for like half an hour, and it's just like, no.
20 grand, that's Jesus.
Crazy. Oh yeah, it can get crazy. Like even the cheap ones are like a few thousand.
Take like a Burger King gift card. The fucking streaming.
Honestly, man, it's crazy. It's crazy. So, you hit the press keys and stuff, and you've got a bunch of chances that are doing it. You've got a few that have got maybe some following, but it's a weird niche thing because it's it's a decent platforming game that kind of looks okay, but it's also making reference to a bunch of stuff that you need to be like 40 or older to actually recognize. But the first one did that as well, so that kind of is what it is, really.
So
Jacob's here.
Oh yeah.
Yay! I assume that they like made jokes at my expense.
Yeah, they've been calling me all sorts of shit, man.
Oh, literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's standard.
Yep.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
Listen, you know what? I didn't think it was just going to be a fart, okay? So, better safe than sorry. And then,
we are getting old.
We surprise while in the middle of an interview.
And we have talked about how much older we are now and how the world has changed, and it's true, our bodies have changed.
Yeah, I mean, Joe could take his teeth out now. That's how freaking old he is.
Jesus, you're all so fucking old.
We have to microwave his food for him so it's soft, and then he can go watch Murder, She Wrote.
I don't watch Murder, She Wrote. I watch
wrestling. It doesn't have that kind of taste. Come on now.
Oh, man. So, before we get too much further into the game, we should probably discuss what it is. What is Lumo 2, and what are some of the differences and changes you've made compared to the first game?
Well, it definitely starts off where the first one kind of finished. It starts off, back in that isometric arcade adventure thing. But what I noticed, because I hadn't actually touched the first one since it came out, I don't really, go back and play my old games particularly much. So I did sort of skim through the director's commentary and have a look at what I'd done in the first one. And there was a lot of empty rooms, basically. There's a lot of corridors in it. And I kind of looked at that and I was just like, that is just a waste of time, really. You're just getting people wandering around. And the thing I'd never really got to do on the first one, which I always really... So I was kind of fighting two things on the first one. I was fighting the temptation to make the whole thing like this massive Zelda dungeon. I kind of wanted all of the rooms to be discreet and just, you've got one thing in a room and you go to the next room and keep it as close to the original genre as possible. And I also kind of realized on the first one, you've actually got to teach people how to play an isometric game because no one's done this for ages. So I had the whole first section of the game was entirely linear, and I kind of wanted it to be like a hub and spoke thing. You could kind of go backwards and forwards and dip in and out. So there was a sort of structural thing on the first one. I was never.
Are things breaking up for anyone else or just me?
Yeah, I'm hearing
it's breaking up for me. Yeah, hold on.
Yay, internet. welcome back.
Hey, how's that?
Much better.
I think
Currently,
things are
at
good.
least.
No, I've got audio in the wrong place. There we go. That's better. Right, cool. You hear me?
Yep.
The video's
Yeah, cool.
jerky. I wonder if the video's causing issues.
Oh, I can turn that off.
Yeah, I might as well, just in case that's causing any
There we go.
problems.
If it makes you feel better, you're the most handsome person we've had on the show in ages, really. So, I mean, this is now a devastating loss that the video's gone. So,
Aw.
Now everyone's back to staring at my face. I am so sorry.
God.
Yeah, that's annoying because I've got gigabit. It should be. Anyway, so yeah, there was a bunch of structural changes that I kind of wanted to make. Just stuff I wasn't super happy with on the first one. And I kind of figured, I don't need to care quite so much about people coming to this cold. Like anyone who's, aware of it has probably played the first one. So, I can go a little bit more loosey-goosey with the second one. So it does start off as an isometric game, and it does have the hub and spoke thing that I kind of wanted. And originally, the sequel was like completely open on the hub and spoke thing, but I ended up locking it down right towards the end. So you do go through one section and you get, a little power up, and you go through another section, you get a little power up, and then you go through the third section and you actually get control of the camera. So that's the big change from the first one, where the first one was just locked to isometric. You're probably only playing for about half an hour, 40 minutes before you actually get the camera and you can spin the camera around. And at which point, that's where I kind of start having fun with it. So, if you think of like the locked isometric rooms, there's two walls that you never really get to see. They're invisible. They're the two walls you're kind of the camera's behind. And on this one, when you rotate the camera, those walls fade in and there will be doors and other, rooms and stuff that you can go and explore. And it becomes more of a Metroidvania at that point. It's like every room's probably got one or two different paths through that you wouldn't see the first time through. There's stuff on the ceilings and on the roofs. There's, you actually, have to kind of explore it. So I had a lot more fun with the kind of overall structure of it this time. And I got rid of like basically as many of the corridors as possible. Like basically every room has got something now. There's none of those sort of empty rooms that you're walking about. And I got to mess around with a couple of so there's Anti-Shear from Ant Attack, which was like the first 3D game on the Spectrum, which was like 1981. I managed to get in touch with the original dev for that and kind of say, look, I'm doing this thing, can I use your map? So I got to mess around in Anti-Shear, and the first game had a couple of like references to like old isometric things like Zaxxon and Cuba-ish type thing, like arcade games. And I kind of just lent much further into that this time. There's like a whole Space Harrier piss take. There's one of Jeff's games, Attack of the Mutant Camels, which was pretty famous on the 64 back in the day. There's one of those in there. Messed around with a Nebulous Tower again. So this one feels, I guess, closer to what I had in my head originally for the first one. And it's not strictly an isometric game anymore. Like, it's the first third is an isometric game, and then after that it kind of becomes just a sort of 3D Metroidvania in that space, riffing on old 8-bit games, basically, with a few, jokes that only me and two other people will get in there.
Hey, that's
Well, I
half
would
of the
get
jokes
the
we
Kubert
make on
reference.
this show. So,
Yeah.
what were you saying, Bri? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just saying I would get the Kubert reference. That's about the only one that rings to me as something I recognize right now. But
That was in the first game, actually, not in the second game.
yeah,
That was one of the... Well, it never ended up being Kubert because the publisher shut themselves at the last minute. So I had to flatten it. So, like Kubert's like a pyramid stack. I ended up just flattening it down to like a flat plane because they didn't want to get too close to Kubert. So
Starting to wonder if Discord is having issues because I just saw my connection thing drop a bit too.
Yeah, mine's going up and down. I'm just looking at my bandwidth now. I'm nowhere near soaking anything. Like, I'm not even touching the sides.
Discord, yay, Discord! We love you, Discord.
Went down earlier.
Shout out to Jordan for his 20th month sub. Always appreciate you being here, hanging out, keeping us company. Thank you, Jordan. So, Jacob, Aki, Bri, y'all played the game. What are your thoughts? What kind of questions do y'all have?
Why did you have to make it so hard?
The puzzle game.
Yeah, but I'm trying to collect things here, and it's difficult as shit.
The ducks are a running joke.
The ducks are evil.
What is with the fried egg with the boxing gloves in his hands in the starting area?
Right, so that's a game called, it's a game called Dizzy. If you look for like Dizzy and the Yoke Folk, there's a whole there's 6 or 7 of the bastard things. Hang on.
Oh wait,
stick it somewhere.
Isn't it like a? Oh, I think I've randomly heard of that series once.
Yeah. So hang on. Where's the chat? I'll stick it in general. Hang on.
Yeah, there we go. Dizzy. Yeah, created by the Oliver twins.
Yeah, that's the one.
Nice.
So, I mean, this is a really long-running joke. It probably started on Twitter about 10 years ago. There's a friend of mine, Rob Fearon. He started making funny Dizzy cartoons. I've never really been a fan of this franchise, and some people absolutely love this thing. And it's a stupid fucking egg. Fuck that egg. I've never been massively into it. And every time I go to retro, I went to, what was it, Zapple, Crash Live or something, and there was loads of Dizzy stuff everywhere, and I'm like, for fuck's sake. And then a friend of mine, Jeff, he likes eggs, so he's never even really played Dizzy games, so he started doing a faux defensive Dizzy, and then I would start getting little plastic eggs dropped around my house when he started visiting. Yeah, that was actually the very first thing that I did in the game was smash Dizzy and leave his stupid little boxing gloves and things on there. There's
fabulous.
There's a load of other if you look on the intro, there's the book on the side of the monitor is 1001 ways to avoid eggs. There's loads of anti-egg propaganda scattered throughout the game, which is basically a pointed reference at Jeff.
Nice.
And yeah, me and Rob on Mastodon and Blue Sky just constantly rip the shit out of Dizzy, and we have done for years.
Apparently, Dizzy is a trademark of Codemasters.
Yeah, because Codemasters used to do, we called them budget games, $1.99 games, and the Dizzy games were, one of the first set of games. They had BMX Simulator, Grand Prix Simulator, and the Dizzy things, mid-80s. 86, 87.
Thereabouts.
Now they'll be forced to do F1 games for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
If they're not shut down first.
Cody's they keep surviving. Got to hand it to them. But yes, that's what the egg's about. The ducks are they're a throwback to the first game. And the ducks are a running joke from Crackdown because some of the artists and designers. But in the first Crackdown, basically, if you go to some of the tallest places in the world, or there's one place that's a chimney that you can fall down. And at the bottom of that chimney, there's a duck. At the top of a tower, there's a duck. There was just this plastic rubber duck model.
Yeah, because you go down and it's actually inside it's inside a toilet.
Yeah, there's loads of them. They were scattered all over the game, and it was like a running joke. People were just leaving these ducks around. And then in the sequel, we made a duck grenade. And if you found it, you picked it up, it would start quacking, and then it would blow up. And it was one of the best grenades in the game, if I remember right. So when I started on the first one, I because I was kind of speed running the game so much when I was making it, I put some ducks in just as like a kind of collectible thing, not thinking anyone would really bother to go for it. But it like there was 20 something of them in the first section of the game, the bit that I found really boring, and people were just throwing themselves at these ducks trying to get these things. And like watching some of the videos of it, I was in hysterics because people were like raging over these ducks, and I'd never really put them in thinking that people would do it on their first run. So those ducks are back in this one, and then there's a different set of ducks where like you pick them up and you can't jump anymore, so you've got to kind of walk them out of the room. And they're brilliant.
I noticed that.
I've been watching, like even the QA guy was struggling with those, and I was just laughing.
So cruel, so cruel.
Very cool.
It's funny. The ones I had more fun with are the cassettes, really, because I wanted to get some 64 music. I was after the Ocean Loader, Martin Galway's Ocean Loader, and the Speedball music, and I managed to get the Speedball music. But Chris Abbott was like, no, you're never going to get Martin Galway's tune. He doesn't really license it out. But I can give you all of Ben Daglish's stuff. And I'd met Ben a couple of times. He was a really cool dude. He's also a friend of Jeff's, the egg guy. But he passed away a few years back.
Oh.
And I kind of thought, actually, this is a really nice way of honouring him. So I was like, yeah, actually, I'll take all of Ben's 64 stuff. And that's where the 25 cassettes are hidden, because they're just, each one of them's one of Ben's tunes. And there's a little jukebox in the hub section when you spin the camera around at the top, and you can just sit there and you can play through all of Ben's tunes. Which was really cool of Chris to give me. And I just, I thought that was a good hat tip to Ben, because he was crazy fucking talented, but he was also a super cool dude. And he was, friends with a lot of my friends. So that was a nice thing to get in. But some of those are like properly hidden. I had a bit of fun with those as well.
Did you have any other musical goals for this piece? We're kind of fans of video game music around here on this podcast.
Other than getting Phil to do the soundtrack again. I mean,
yeah.
The one thing I wanted with the first game was it not to sound like an old school game. I didn't want like chip music or anything in it. And Phil ended up creating like a quite smoky, left field, down tempo soundtrack for it. We didn't get as much in as we wanted because Phil was crunching on. He's still doing AAA stuff, or he was until he was made redundant. So he didn't have a lot of time, but he managed to squeak like 3 tracks in. So yeah, I wanted his vibe in it again. And the reason really for going after any of the C64 stuff is like there was just 2 rooms. There's the observatory on the start. It's like the 3rd room you go into. There's a C64 loading screen that's sort of playing away, and I just wanted the Ocean Loader as a joke. And the Speedball room, it's literally the arena out of Speedball. So I wanted the Speedball music in there as a joke. So that's one of those things, just because Chris offered me Ben's music, that just suddenly grew arms and legs. That just wasn't really planned. That just kind of happened.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob, what kind of questions do you have? You've been quiet. Do something.
Be useful.
Be useful. Because because the thing is, like, I revisited it again this evening, like, as my kids were watching. It was actually kind of fascinating watching them watch me play it, because I don't think that they've ever seen anything like this. And it was really fun listening to them try to like suggest like what to possibly do next. Like, did you have like any kind of age range, or like did you mean to make it like that accessible for kids who are like 6 and 8 years old thereabouts when you were making this title?
So when I made the first one, I'd literally just left Ruffian, and I was kind of kicking around. And I'd had a thing in my head for a long time that, like, no one's done an isometric games. Someone should just do that. And when I started doing it, I kind of thought it would be like a 2 or 3 month project. I'd just do, you know, like a really tiny little indie game. I'd smash something out quick. And I thought I would just laser target it at people my age, you know, because it's an old school genre that's not been done for ages. No one's going to get it apart from people my age. It obviously grew arms and legs, and it started, you know, getting more attention than I expected. But when they took it to EGX, so this would have been probably 6 months, maybe a bit longer before it came out. They were saying, we can't get the kids off of it. Like, little kids are sitting down and playing this, and they're just sitting on it, and they're rinsing the demo. And I wasn't expecting that in the slightest. So they sent me a load of photos, and they're literally like, you know, 7 or 8 year olds just playing it on the show floor. And I was like, well, that's kind of cool, because I honestly thought you'd have to be, you know, 40. Oh, hang on. Yeah, well, 10 years ago, in your 30s or 40s, to even get the reference of what this was. I didn't think it would have any appeal outside of that, to be honest. I you know, and I didn't really think it would travel particularly far either, because, like, the only big isometric games really outside of Europe, stuff like Solstice on the SNES and, you know, more kind of strategy things. A lot of the arcade adventures that we had didn't really travel, so I didn't think it would get much attention anywhere, really. So this one, it was, I had a little bit to and fro with a few people, because it's like, well, why have you made the character bigger? You know, you've lost the cuteness on the character. And it's like, well, you know, it's 10 years, he's grown up, and I wanted to do more with the character. The tiny little cute character in the first one is kind of limiting, because you can't jump particularly high, and, you know, it made all of the rooms and the scale of everything look wrong. And I wanted to do, you know, more realistic stuff in this one. So I kind of thought, well, it's not going to look as cute, but if I structure it properly and, you know, try and, you know, make a reasonably soft path at the start to get people into it, it might still do the same thing as the first one. What as I have noticed, though, which was kind of interesting, there's been a few comments floating around online going, oh, this was my childhood game, I can't believe it's got a sequel. And I'm like, well, fuck yeah, because if you were like 7, 8, 9, 10 when the first one came out, you're going to be like 18, 19, 20 now. So I'm kind of hoping that the lack of cuteness maybe might keep it, you know, people who played the first one when they were little will be like, well, actually, yeah, I'll give this one a go. And because it's doing some different things, it might actually work out okay. Whether, I mean, it's interesting you said your kids like it, because, yeah, I wouldn't say I was kind of aiming for that. I'm still sort of doing the same thing that I was doing with the first one. Like, I'm still kind of expecting you need to be probably British and of a certain vintage to get most of what I'm doing. But, like, you know, you don't have to get the Dutch. You don't have to get the cassettes. There's the golden path through, you know, to see most of the rooms is easier than the first one. I've not put the sort of same difficulty spikes in that I put into the first one. So hopefully it'll be, you know, something the kids will get into. But I think the fact that the main player character's not as small and cute is probably going to make that harder. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm looking forward to seeing how much they stick with it, because the only problem I foresee with it for them is that the Xbox, which is a platform that I played on, that's the one that they use for everything that's multiplayer. But like when they'll split up, like one of them you'll use the Xbox and the other one uses the Switch, and it really seems like we've got like a ton of single player games that just reside solely on the Switch. I mean, obviously some of it's like like Zelda and stuff like that, but
you have Zelda on the Switch?
Yeah, who knew?
Hey, it isn't.
Do you know that they also have Mario on there?
So I have a follow-up
compete with Mario.
along the same lines, or along similar lines, if you would indulge me. You're talking about gamers of a certain vintage, and you're talking about kids playing your game. What were the games that were formative for you when you were young?
Well, yeah, I mean, Head Over Heels was the first game that I bought. So that would have been 1986. That's John Rittman and Bernie Drummond, and that's an isometric game. That's literally what I was riffing on with Lumo. And I remember we completed it, me and a friend completed it, and that summer I actually, on graph paper, was like designing extra rooms for it. So that was really the start of me going, actually, I kind of want to make games. So that one was pretty formative. There's a bunch of stuff that I've, referenced across the two now. Iridium, Jeff Minter's games, Attack of the Mutant Camels, Lamatron, there's a lot. Certainly up until, I guess, 18, 19, before I hit like Raven, drugs, I was, playing everything. There's probably a gap in the early 90s whilst I was out partying where I didn't play so much, but Street Fighter was a massive thing. And then when I did go to uni, start the PlayStation era, the Gran Turismos, Metal Gears, kind of what you would expect, really. I play less now because I don't tend to play many games when I'm deep making my own one, because like I'm playing my own game 8-10 hours a day. When I finish doing that, I tend to do something else, watch a film or read a book or DJ. So I play less games now than I used to, but I would say through the 80s I probably played 90% of what came out. I've gone through all of the good stuff on the NES. I had a Super Nintendo the day it came out. I've hit all of the big things that you'd expect on that. Same for the PlayStation, and obviously piracy helps. And now I've got like a complete ROM collection of every single platform ever. So I do dip through stuff that I've kind of missed out at the time. I would say the strong ones I purposefully have referenced in my game in some way or another. I mean, like Seekonoid's a love letter to Cybernoid and Robotron. It's literally what you get if you put those two games together and they have a baby. So I always reference a lot in what I do. That's the benefit of being able to work at home on my own. I can kind of do what I want in that sense. Which you can't really do if you're in a studio making some massive game for a big publisher. So, biggies would, Street Fighter played a massive part in my life. Robotron's played a massive part in my life. John Rittman's work. Julian Gollop, Chaos, XCOM.
Okay.
That kind of stuff. There's a few developers that I really go out of my way to play their stuff. Andy Braybrook, Jeff Minter. And then, what you would expect from the kind of Eastern developers, the Capcom games, the Konami games. And I guess I'm a massive Nintendo fanboy as well, really. Probably goes without saying. You can see that in the stuff that I do.
You mentioned Jeff.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, you mentioned Jeff Minter. Have you seen or played the Llamasoft game that they put out from Digital Eclipse?
Yeah, I put them together.
Oh, did you?
Jeff is when I'm talking about Jeff and the Egg Dude, that's Jeff Minter.
Oh,
I didn't know you got them in touch with Digital Eclipse. That's awesome.
Yeah, so Thalamus, Andy Roberts at Thalamus used to work for them. I had a chat with Jeff. We're going back like 5-6 years ago. And I asked if he was doing anything with his old catalog stuff, because I could maybe get them kind of repurposed and do something with them. Spoke to Andy Roberts at Thalamus. He put me in touch with Mike Micah at Digital Eclipse. Had a chat with them. You interested in doing anything? And they were kind of like, yes, we've just started this Gold Master series. We're just doing what was it? I can never say it.
Karateka.
Yeah, that one.
Karateka.
Yeah, how do you say it? Karateka? I don't know. Anyway, they hadn't announced that, but they were just like a third of the way through it, and they're like, yes, that could be our next like Gold Master. And then I hooked them up with Paul Doherty for the documentary stuff that they've got in there, because he was making a film about Jeff, and he just interviewed me for that. So that was one of those ones of like the moons aligned. But we'd done the deal a long time ago, probably 4 years ago. And they had to finish off 2 projects really before they got started on that. So yeah, there's a load of my magazine scans and stuff in there. There was a whole bunch of us that helped them do that.
That's very awesome. When are we going to get the Gareth Noyce?
He likes eggs.
Gareth Noyce Digital Eclipse collection.
I haven't made enough stuff, have I?
Gotta work on it. Gotta just churn out a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I wish. I mean, I could go back and make a load of Commodore 64 games maybe, and they can do that. Go.
So I'm looking back at the blurb for our first interview, and I'm looking at the description of what we talked about. And the one thing is interviewers who ask the same question. So I'm going to ask some of the same questions. We talked about people who are terrible at the game. Have you seen that with this one? Do you see a lot of really bad, people like Aki who just are awful at the game? Anything fun that you've seen?
I haven't given it to anyone. The only people who've played it are you. So,
oh shit! Seriously?
I've given it to one person in the last 2 years. Well, no, I tell a lie. I've given it to 3. I've only got to see one person play it, and that was. I didn't
know if you were showing any conventions or anything.
No. I'm not into really. I kind of did my time on the show floor at E3, and that's put me off ever doing show floor stuff ever again. I actively kind of avoided that, and the publisher doesn't actually have a booth. They don't bother doing packs or that stuff anymore. It's not really cost effective for them. And I didn't go to EGX or anything on the first one either. So no, I tune the game how I want it to be. I don't give it to people to play test. I don't really watch anyone play test it. I just, focus on making the thing that I want to make the way that I want to make it, for better or for worse. I had a friend come over, like I say, though, January, start of this year, and there was a good bulk of the game. Yeah, it was basically content complete at that time, and he sat down and did about 2-hour run on it, and basically he didn't rinse it for all of the collectibles, but he did the whole main path through the game in a one-hour first time, and I was like, yeah, that's fine. Don't need to change much here. Nice. I did give it to, I gave the Switch version to Jeff and Giles, but the Switch version wasn't running particularly well at that point, and it wasn't balanced at all. And they, like, Jeff hates isometric games anyway. And I got some furious messages on Discord from him going, what the fuck? Why am I dying on this? At which point I laughed and thought, yeah, that's probably okay. So didn't do a whole much to it. I made a few tweaks, but he doesn't like it.
Horror Acolyte saying, so Aki is currently the worst person at this game, I guess, in the entire world. Aki, you are the worst Lumo 2 player right now in existence.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm pretty okay with that. I mean, I'm still better than, half of our group at, Just Life. So, I think
you're
I'm
on
okay.
time. I mean, your timekeeping is better.
Yeah, you were here.
Well, that makes me the best Lumo 2 player right now on True Achievements, at least, apparently.
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah, you must be.
Like, I think it's like 2 achievements ahead.
Yeah, I'm a couple.
No, I haven't either.
Jacob.
But yeah, like we're the only ones on there, and I'm just like, ooh, exciting.
It's on my list to deep dive into this weekend. So I got a little bit into it.
The press keys are going out now, so you'll have some true achievements.
All right. Hurry up.
Right.
Damn. We got to speed run this.
You've had a good month's head start, so.
Yep.
I mean, I got 10 out of the 28 achievements. I don't know where anyone is comparatively. So I have no idea if I'm doing good or not.
Yeah, Aki's not on True Achievement.
Well, she is, but she's hidden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't looked, to be honest.
It's all good.
I think the press keys have just started going out. So, you definitely are the only people who had it last month.
That's pretty crazy. We appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you.
You're more than welcome.
Yeah. Another question. 2 sections of the game that are total bastards. Are there any sections in this game that are total bastards?
Yeah, I mean, a couple of the ducks are but like, again, like, you don't need to get them. So I kind of treat those as like, right, if I want to be a cunt, I can be a cunt.
No, 2. Aki is at 0. That is the cunt count.
Well, I do have to get all the ducks because there's an achievement for that. So
exactly.
Yeah. See, I get it. Less about achievements.
I hate you, Joe.
Honestly, if I didn't have to put them in, I wouldn't have done them. They were the absolute bane of my life. They had the most bugs. I fucking hate doing achievements. They are god awful. I left them until the very last minute. They took the most time out of anything. They had the most bugs. They're just a fucking pain in the ass from start to finish. I hate them.
Well, we love them, some of us. So thanks for, bothering.
As we're all just like, oh, never mind.
I would say I love achievements, but I don't. I'm just addicted. There's a difference.
And Bri, I want to congratulate you for being the first person to die 20 times in one room.
I did that on purpose because I saw there was an achievement for it.
Mm-hmm.
I did too. The moment I found a room I could die in, I was like, oh yeah, let's do this real quick.
Yeah.
Unlike you plebeians, I just went into the game, unawares of what the achievement list was, because I was there for the game's essence.
And still somehow got the die 20 times in a row first.
No, he didn't get it.
No, not yet. I actually didn't know it existed.
I am shooketh. Absolutely shooketh.
There's a friend of mine in Finland, Antti Ikalainen. He was god awful at the first game, and he's probably going to be god awful at the second game as well. So those achievements are literally just for him, which is why it's hello Antti. So whenever he does play it, it's going to pop up, and he's just going to go bastard.
That's fantastic.
So I can't finish the achievements on the original Lumo because I don't have the game anymore because it was on Game Pass.
Oh no!
And then it was removed from the Microsoft Store. So
why was it on Games Pass? I've not been. I think it was on Game Pass.
Was it not? Okay, then I must have played it at a friend's.
It got delisted from Xbox. No one's ever given me anything for Games Pass, so if it was on there, someone owes me money.
Oh, then I'm mistaken then because I must have played it at a friend's then.
Yeah. So
it was on Game Pass.
Star Games doesn't exist anymore.
Is that
it got delisted? Yeah. So complicated story. All of the rights reverted back to me, and I put the PlayStation and the PC version under Thalamus because they're doing the Lord's work. Thalamus Digital, go check them out. They've got loads of really good games. I put them under there to look after, but for some reason, I can't remember what, I think the Xbox version ended up getting delisted because they couldn't transfer it over. And we're still trying to get that put back on. I don't know what the status of that is now. I kind of thought it was back up, but I haven't paid any attention to it, to be honest.
Well, I would love for it to get back on Xbox if that ever happens. Look at the right now.
Because I want to play that now.
Yeah.
There is a thread. It has been asked. We have talked to ID at Xbox about it, but that's Andy's ballpark. I'll just leave that to him. The Xbox version is not very good. I've got to be honest.
I enjoyed it.
60. Well, it wasn't a really good version, and it's the same for the Xbox version on this one. It's the only it's not running at 4K. It's not running at 60. I think it's running at 60, but it's upscaled. Whereas the PlayStation version is just how it's meant to be.
It's okay. We're old. We won't be able to tell.
Yeah.
Well, you might. It depends how big your TV is. It's not bad. It's just I would have rather it was 4K native. But why did Microsoft have a piss weak Xbox SKU? It's really annoying. But yeah, it's a tidy version on this one. But the original Xbox version, Unity, was an absolute shit show on consoles in 2016. It was basically only the PlayStation version that was any good. The Vita version was god awful. Through no fault of Just Add Waters, Unity just didn't work on the Vita. And the Xbox, I think that was upscaled and only ran at 30. We were gutted we couldn't get that running properly. It was a real annoyance, but Unity is as Unity does. That's why I moved off of it. I'll ping Andy though, actually, because I don't know what the state of the Xbox version is right now.
Gotcha.
Well, I'm here to say again that we would definitely love to see it back.
Yeah, I would like to see it back. There's no reason why it shouldn't be up there. There's some, I think, if I remember right, they weren't able to transfer the binary across. They were asking us if you got the original build that you uploaded so they could put it back in the system, and of course we don't have that. So that's I have a feeling that's what is going on, and they were basically trying to work out how they transferred the binary over, but I actually kind of thought that was fixed. I'll ping him. If I find out, I'll hit you up in a Discord and let you know.
Thank you.
Hear me out. Follow the current gaming trend and release the remastered version.
I can't remaster it. I literally can't remaster it. There's a version of Lumo for iOS, and it took about 14 months. The first one came out on Unity 5.2. We had to step through every single version of Unity that had been released since to get a version that worked on iOS, and it's just, you can't upgrade Unity projects. At this point, to have it remastered and still be on Unity, I would literally have to rewrite all of the UI, all of the front end, replace the audio system. It's not possible to do.
So
it would be faster for me to reboot it in Unreal. Sorry?
I said, so I'll just take you 30 minutes, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
maybe an hour at best.
Yeah. Something like that.
That sucks.
Yeah, I've looked at it multiple times because I would keep it going, honestly, if I could. I'm gutted about that. It'd be easier to run it on emulation than it would be to remaster it.
Damn. So what is next for AAA?
So there's some levels in Lumo 2 which have Gilby from Jeff Minter's Iridis Alpha in, and they're a spin. Do you remember the PlayStation game Cooler World?
Nope.
Oh.
Okay, so you were like a little beach ball that rolled around a 3D object in space, and it was criminally overlooked in my opinion, because it's a cracking little puzzle game. And I'd always wanted to do something like that. So I stuck 5 little Cooler World levels in Lumo 2, but I was using Gilby out of Iridis Alpha. I only spent about a week on it, and I was kind of thinking, you could do a much better job than this. You know, mine sort of works, but it was the last thing that I put in the game, and it was a bit of a rush job. So when I was kind of waiting for the QA to kind of do their thing on Lumo 2, I didn't have a lot to do, so I actually spun out those little Cooler World levels with Gilby and just into their own little project, and kind of fixed the controller and everything. And it's looking really cool, actually. So I'm going to do nothing really big, nothing heavy. I'm going to do like a quick sort of love letter to Cooler World and finish off, you know, just do a better job than I did in Lumo 2 with those. And then ultimately go back to Minute. I want to finish that off. That's like, it's over halfway. It's probably 2/3 done. The problem with that is just I need some cash to be able to, you know, sit there and finish it, because it's probably another 2-year project and I need to pay the rent. So it's I'll probably do a bit of contract work and spin off Gilby, see what the sales for Lumo 2 are like, see if that pays my rent, and then hopefully get back to Menhir. So I think that'll be the next sort of year, 2 years.
Very, very cool. Aki, Bri, Jacob, any final questions about the game before we got to move on? Because we got a lot of news to talk about this week as well.
And you actually 100% this game, achievement-wise.
Yeah, no bother.
I don't believe.
Yeah, I think my last speed, I did it Sunday. I did the Switch and the PC, not the Switch, I did the Steam Deck and the PC version. Yeah, it takes me about an hour 20 at the minute.
Jesus. I am so slow.
To be fair, like, I know where everything is, like.
Yeah, but you made it. That's cheating.
Yeah, I know. And like, there is a route that you can kind of go through with very little backtracking, and yeah, I know.
It took me so long just to get one of the ducks, and I'm incensed.
Wait, to just get one? What?
Yeah.
It's easy as shit to get a duck.
Some are harder than others, to be fair.
I know, but like even
some
the
are
ones
significantly harder.
Well, the one where you're just starting out, like in the room with like all the little robots going back and forth. All you have to do is just like bide your time. You just hop in, like work on it a little bit, hop out, like, and then boom, like duck appears up in the upper left-hand corner.
Did you recognize what that game was? That's one that you would have had in the States.
Not a clue.
No, I didn't. And
I'm not as old as these people.
Oh, shut up, Aki.
Aki is the young one here.
Yes,
She's
I am
not young.
a child.
You're like 37.
Yeah, and compared to all you people, I'm very young. Thank you very much.
Oh my God.
You people.
Yeah, there you go.
Just want to throw it out there for the people who are confused. Cooler
right.
World in the U.S. was Rollaway.
Oh, it had a different name, did it?
Yeah. All right. So Impossible Mission.
It was the first game I ever heard that had sampled speech, and that blew my little tits off.
Huh. So it wasn't Wing Commander 2? I mean, for like a lot of people back then, it would have been. Oh, dang.
No, there's a voice going, "Stay a while, stay forever."
And now it might have been stuck in my head. No,
there might have been one before it, but that was the first one I heard, and I was just like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, no, that shit was like a big deal. Like I remember that. Like when, for me, it was Star Wars Dark Forces. That thing.
I remember that.
Yeah, because the Imperial officer, the Grand Moff, whatever the fuck his name is, oh yes, Lord Vader, blah 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 blah, like, you know, and then some guys badly portraying James Earl Jones, Yeah, like no, that shit was wild back then.
There was a mod for Doom.
My camera.
I can't remember what it was. There was a mod for Doom before Dark Forces came out, and they basically done a Doom level, and they swapped out the textures to make it kind of look like you're inside the Death Star, and that had loads of film samples from. Because I remember us playing that at college quite a lot. That was excellent. And they literally just badly sampled all of the guns and a bunch of the speech and everything. But the actual mod was pretty cool. And then Dark Forces popped up. Yeah, not long after we found that. So yeah, I remember Dark Forces.
I just unlocked the ability to rotate the camera. I'm happy.
There we go. You're off now. You can explore the rest of the game.
All right. Well, shall we move on to news? Gareth, I know you wanted to hang out. And chat.
Hold up. No, we had a question that didn't get answered. That level, the one with the robots, and you have to sit there and get the information and stuff. All right. So what game was that based on?
Impossible Mission C64.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that you had. Okay. I thought Bri was sorry. I didn't realize that, and I thought Bri was
start us on a new tangent. No.
Yeah, I thought you did. Gotcha. I'm not reading the Discord. There we go. That's on me.
I got multiple screens up, so I have access to all this.
I mean, you're not also mentally special, so there's that.
True. So news. Should we start with good news or bad news this week?
Let's start with no news. I prefer no news. Let's just skip the news because this week sucks.
No, you try that every time. No, we can't.
Fine.
What's the good news?
The good news this week, we'll start off with the good news. Pinball FX is getting another new table. Elvira and the Party Monsters will join Scared Stiff in Pinball FX on the 16th. We will celebrate. We will celebrate with Ball Squad. That's all the good news I have this week.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, when we get to me, I've got some other good news, but let's get to the bad news.
So last week we mentioned EA, and that was going to be the lead discussion this week. But somehow eclipsing EA's sale is the worst news of the week. Xbox decided that Game Pass Ultimate needs more bullshit in it. They're adding Ubisoft Classics Plus and some Fortnite crew shit that I don't give a damn about. And they are in turn jacking the price from $19.99 to $29.99 a fucking month. Essential stays at $10, Premium stays at $15. They boasted about how they added 45 new games. They added Hogwarts Legacy and a bunch of Ubisoft classics. That's it. When some people are even saying they added over 75 new games. No, all those other games were just games already in Game Pass being added to lesser tiers. Those are not new additions.
So I also want to point out that they renamed Core and Standard to Essential and Premium, and according to Injury, the new tier names sound like car wash options.
They do. Oh my god, they do.
Pretty sure they're PS Plus options too.
Oh yeah.
I don't
like it. What's it?
Stupid.
$30 a month. 30.
No.
Well, and in a 2-gamer household, that's $60 a month. So no.
You not share? No way.
You can game share with each other.
Nah.
Him. He could have his own games.
we share physical games, and that's it.
I'm amazed you share that much, to be quite frank.
We actually recently organized all of our 360 and Xbox One physical games together. And so now we have a shared collection. That was a big step for me. I'm very
I'm not sure I'd do
to my physical media. So that was scary. Same thing with the movie collection. That was scary stuff.
Yeah,
I'd do it with a movie collection. I wouldn't do it with my game collection.
That kind of shit would have to be pried out of my cold dead fucking hands. No chance in fuck.
That'd be like me mixing my vinyl up with someone. No.
Oh, hell yeah.
But yeah, $10 increase for Game Pass Ultimate. They are trying to make up for it with the addition of the Ubisoft Classics, which is $8 a month per platform. So you get on Xbox and PC. Blah, 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 blah. And then they're adding Fortnite Crew. You know, for
no
all of us
really
on this show who just love Fortnite to death.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a shit at all, and I never will about Fortnite, but I want the day one releases. Why is there not a plan with day one releases and none of the other bullshit? I don't want Fortnite bullshit. I don't need Ubisoft Classics. I don't even need EA Play, but it's nice that it's there. I just want the day one games.
Yep.
I'm not glad that stuff's there.
I'm not willing to pay an extra $10 just for day one releases. I will have to play a year later or whatever when they come out on standard premium. Yeah, on premium, yep. Which is
I don't even know if I want to drop the premium. Part of me, like when the end of January hits, part of me is just like, do I want to resub?
Yeah.
How often do I get to play online these days? How often do I get to play much at all with my arm these days?
Not at all. You get to play a couple hours a week, and that's
like I love the fact that you get discounts and perks with Game Pass, but they're not.
A lot of the perks don't apply to me either. Yeah.
Like I don't need another charm for Apex Legends.
Oh yeah.
Jacob, what are your thoughts on all this?
Yeah.
So here's something I find kind of curious about it. And maybe I'm not maybe it's a dead end on this, but GameStop is offering and says that they're going to continue to sell 1 month Game Pass Ultimate cards for $19.95. Like
until they run out.
Yeah.
Is that what they've said? Like bought. Until they run out?
Yeah.
It's not long running?
No.
It's until GameStop runs out of the prepaid card codes they already bought from Microsoft.
Oh my God.
For that price.
I have to tell you guys something. This is great. I found in my local Walmart today, they still have Xbox Live Gold year cards.
Oh my God. That does not
yes, for $59.99. I seriously thought about buying one.
Would it even redeem?
It should.
I don't think it will at this point.
It should. It absolutely should.
Yep.
Huh. Interesting.
There's very real possibility. Maybe not now that the 360 store is closed, but I know for the longest time you could get like the month-long trials from original Xbox games and still redeem them on a series.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. Their codes last a long time. But anything that like required a 360 to redeem, like Rock Band track packs, those are dead. Dead and gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just like my interest in being subscribed to Microsoft stuff. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Gareth, what are your thoughts on this price increase?
Well, so I was on Games Pass. I was on Games Pass PC, I guess, the first year that it kind of came out. And I dropped it, just after that year sub, to be honest. I saw someone describe it today as like the world's most expensive discovery channel, and it's just like I wasn't really discovering anything on it, and I wasn't really playing anything on it, and I struggle with it. I've got to be honest. Like, I was looking at the library, and it was just like there's not a lot on it, and okay, if I wanted to play Hades 2 or something, I would buy it. I guess I'm still a bit old school
On
like that.
Steam,
I want to own it. You know, if it's good enough for me, and that's kind of what I found myself using Games Pass for. It was like I kind of knew that I wasn't going to like the game anyway, but it's like, okay, it's on Games Pass. I'll just give it an hour. I might be wrong, but I know my own taste at this point. You know, I can sort of sniff a game pretty quickly and go whether I like it or if I don't. I guess it's because I don't have an Xbox as well. That's another factor on it. I kind of went PC only. But I don't know.
You just buy stuff on Steam, and it makes so much more sense.
Yeah, I got really fed up. I mean, it was PlayStation, you know, PlayStation 3 to PlayStation 4. It was just like, well, hang on, I got fed up of just like not having backwards compatibility. Whereas like my Steam library, I can play it anywhere. I know I'm going to be able to play it for the next 30 years. You know, well, okay, exaggeration, give or take. And the Steam Deck has genuinely changed how I look at like my Steam library and stuff now. Because like I bought one, I had to support it for dev, and I thought I'd use it as the base platform for Lumo too. But I ended up like using it loads. And it's like, well, okay, the games are cheaper on Steam. They're there permanently. There was a lot of guff on Games Pass. You know, it was just stuff that I knew I wasn't really going to play. And I think if I had an Xbox under the TV, I would probably have felt a bit differently about it. But I've got a PC under the TV. And it's...
What about just using the Xbox app and the Xbox storefront on PC? Is there a chance we could see Lumo 2 get a Windows or an Xbox PC port and utilize the Play Anywhere program?
Not unless Microsoft pay. I mean, there wasn't going to be an Xbox version. The Xbox version... So from my point of view as a developer, it's not... We don't have an in at Microsoft. It's incredibly unlikely to be on Games Pass. If it's not on Games Pass, it's going to sell nothing. And I looked at the numbers of some of the other games that the publisher had done. They were at the point of like, there's no point us supporting Xbox. We got told basically straight away that there was not going to be any kind of physical for Xbox because no one would take it. And that's because of Games Pass. So we can do physical on PlayStation and Switch. We can't do physical on Xbox. No one will take it. We looked at the cost, and we kind of thought it was going to be like, you know, maybe about 10 grand to do like a Xbox port. And I was just like, there's no point. We're not going to recoup the money on it unless you can get a Games Pass deal. And they were like, well, we've been banging on the door. We've got a whole library of stuff here. Microsoft aren't picking it up. So it's probably not going to be on Games Pass. And I was like, well, there's no point us doing it. But it ended up being cheaper than that. And we was sat on it for like 2 or 3 days. Like, do we do the Xbox version or don't we do the Xbox version? And we kind of went, well, if we don't do it, we're never going to get on Games Pass. So we might as well. It's unlikely to recoup, but let's just do it anyway. So I'll be honest with you, I've got no intention of supporting Xbox in any of the future stuff. I wasn't going to support it on Lumo 2. I've no plan to support Xbox on PC. It's on Steam. Why would I bother? You know, as harsh as that sounds, there's nothing in it for me, to be honest. It's not going to sell anything. I mean, even if I put it up on itch, which I want to do, and I probably will do, even the sales on itch, I would have to give a Steam code with it. So, like, it's going on the Epic Games Store in the hope that someone buys it there because I get more of a royalty off of the Epic Games Store than I do off of Steam, and that would make a difference to me. But I honestly, the Xbox is kind of dead to me from a development point of view. It doesn't make any financial sense for me to do it.
It's starting to feel like Xbox is dead from Xbox's point of view.
Well, they're going out of their way to fucking ruin it, aren't they? Like,
I mean, we got what?
Yes, they are, but they've been doing that for a while.
2 console price increases in a year. We've had, I think, 3 straight years of Game Pass price increases, with this one going up to $30 goddamn. Nearly everything they're doing is getting released on PlayStation day one as well. Forza being the exception, and they already announced that yes, it will be on PlayStation just a little later. Like, I'm one of the biggest Xbox fans I know, and I'm sitting here like, why am I an Xbox fan?
I spent my whole, when I was doing console games, everything that I did, or the vast majority of it, was Microsoft first party. I've worked with them 12 odd years, and when I started, they were absolutely shit hot. ATG were world class. The people they would drop in on our projects were absolute gods. They were fucking brilliant. It saddens me to see this decline in the way it is. I mean, I've been upset for ages that how many franchises they had that they've just let go dormant and die. You know, they had loads of IP. Where is it all? They've managed to fuck it all up, and they've shut down some amazing studios. Like Rare and Lionhead, and just places my friends worked at. And it's been this long,
the bones of Rare are still there, making Sea of Thieves.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the people that they've got rid of in this latest tranche, they're like the most old school Rare people going. Like, there's people, like one of the guys I know, he's been there like since the 90s. Like he's got Rare tattooed through him. I don't know if the heart is there. I honestly don't. I mean, I could see the logic of Games Pass when they started it. Like, it seemed inevitable, given Spotify and Netflix and all those other things, that yes, video games would do the same kind of thing and hit to the subscription thing. But you can't make AAA games that cost, £400-500 million and recoup that on a subscription service. It's madness. It's never going to work. And the devalue the hardware where in the way that they have, having like one SKU that was completely crippled made it super expensive to support Xbox. I think
their forced parity clause caused a lot of issues. If they would have just been the Series S exists, but you might not get all the features of the game. Or you might not get
it's madness because you have to target the lowest common denominator. You have to go for the lowest spec. It's just insanity. So, I don't know. I mean, it's just really sad, But the 360 era, think where they were then to where they are now.
They were the top of the world until the Kinect came out.
Yeah, I mean, oh God, don't get me started.
And then they just switched direction. And then with the Xbox One and the heavy focus on the Kinect, the forced integration of the Kinect and all the TV and apps and everything. Like, I loved the Snap feature. I miss that shit, and I want it back so bad. But it just, people weren't clicking with it, and they have never recovered from it. I think they were getting turned around and on the right path, and then their eyes got a little too big, and they bought Activision, and that killed any progress they were ever going to make.
I think The Rock kind of started a little bit before that. There was a big influx of EA people just at the point where I decided to stop doing AAA console stuff, and The Rock started around then because a lot of good people left Microsoft at that point. If you look at some of Laura Fryer's videos that she's been doing up on YouTube, she's not hiding her feelings about some of this stuff, and it's very funny to watch. Because she was the sort of quality that I'm talking about. She was producer on Gears of War. She was shit hot. And there's a few other people I could name as well. It's been on a spiral since then. The Kinect thing was bonkers because they were pushing it on us long before it came out, and no one wanted to do anything on it. Everyone hated it. They couldn't even get developers to properly do stuff for it. That's how, and to put that front and center on the next console was insanity because they knew that it was going to be a struggle. I never understood that.
That never should have been mandatory at all.
There was just serious Kool-Aid. Like, we were not allowed to pitch anything that wasn't Kinect first. And way before the console was announced. Like, everything had to be Kinect. And, you know, we were basically work for hire exclusively for Microsoft on that period, and they were just throwing Kinect on everything. And none of it worked. None of it worked. The TV thing is maybe a bit more interesting because when I started my career, I was working on a Xbox original, an OG Xbox game. And what is now Kodi, Xbox Media Center, came out, but you needed to be a developer to use it because you needed the SDK to compile, or the XDK to compile it. And it was amazing. And we were constantly showing it to Microsoft people going, man, the next console, you need to have like Xbox Media Center in it. This is the shit. And they were going to put DivX in the 360, and they were going to put a load more media codecs in it. And there was a lot of talk about, like, you know, we can have proper video support and everything. And at that point, it would have been cool, you know, because like people were ripping stuff, you know, it was still that period when you were doing it. But they didn't, they bottled it on the 360. And then I think they kind of went, oh shit, we shouldn't have bottled it on the 360. So they just went all in for the Xbox One on it. And it was too late at that point because no one cared then.
Yeah.
We'd all moved. We just missed the boat totally. So I don't know.
They hit the trends after they were already dying down.
Yeah, definitely on that one. But Kinect was just bullshit from day one.
Which is funny because on episode 199, when you were on talking about Lumo, we also had someone talking about a Kinect game on the same episode.
Yeah, air guitar, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I definitely played the demo of that as well.
It was
that,
virtual.
To be fair, looking back on it, that was one of the better Kinect things that I ever played. That sort of worked occasionally, but like we were doing something with Crytek Rise, and they wanted to use Kinect for that, and it was like, you know, a sword fighting melee game with Kinect, and the Kinect didn't register shit. Like it never worked. It would have
been awful.
Yeah, it was bad.
People didn't like waggling a Wiimote for Zelda. Just give me a fucking button.
They just seriously underestimated. You know, you're playing a video game. You want to sit your fat ass on your couch, don't you? Let's be honest.
Yes, I do.
See,
Maybe
I enjoyed Kinect. I enjoyed actually getting up and physically moving. I loved Xbox Fitness when it first came out. I was like a big player in that.
Not that Nike one.
No, there was just like they had the native Xbox Fitness, and you could like buy video packs to go with it, and they had different programs, and then you could get other games too.
Yeah, I worked on that Nike Plus Kinect Fitness thing. That was funny.
I think the big problem here is, like so many other companies, they're thinking with their dick, not with their brain. And they're like, well, everything costs more now, so let's just increase the price of everything because, you know, let's just ignore the concept that, yeah, things cost more, but ain't nobody getting paid any more than they did fucking 30 goddamn years ago. No one can fucking afford any of this shit. You know, when rent's gone up, food's gone up, guess what? We don't give a fuck about video games anywhere near as much because we have to take care of, you know, the important shit. And we can't afford all of that as easily anymore. So who the fuck's going to be paying for this massive increase in something just because they added a bunch of shit no one fucking cares about? It's just like when they added fucking ESPN and Netflix capacity into it, they increased the price of it $10. And at that point, I was like, I don't
never
fucking
added
care.
ESPN or Netflix to Game Pass.
And no, it wasn't Game Pass. It was Xbox, just in general. Back when you bought Xbox Live, and that was all there was. They increased the price of it when they did that. And that was for
when they brought in. I get what you mean. When they brought in apps.
Yeah, it was specifically because they brought in ESPN and Netflix, so they increased the price by $10 to Xbox Gold at the time, and they were like, "Well, this is wise because we added this," and I was like, I even to this day, I had never used the goddamn Netflix app, and I sure as shit didn't use the fucking ESPN app, and I did not like that increase. And they're basically doing it again. No one wants any of this bullshit that they're adding, but they're like, well, but it's a higher value. It's like, yeah, okay, but if I go and I rent a goddamn car and you're like, well, we're going to increase the price by 50% because we're giving you a trailer. I didn't fucking ask for a goddamn trailer. I wanted to fucking rent a car. The car. That's all I fucking want. Fuck off. And they don't seem to understand the concept because all they're thinking with is, well, you know, it's worth more, so they'll pay. No, we fucking won't, because we don't want this shit. Stop adding stuff people don't fucking want.
I think the other thing they risk putting it up at like £30 a month. That, so when it was like 12 or 15, that's kind, you know, not impulse, but it's like, it sort of seems like value at 30 quid a month. How many games can you buy in the sale for 30 quid a month? Like, if you're not desperate to pay things on day one, you know, and if there's a bunch of things that you want to catch up on, you can get a lot of games for that money. Like, it's there's not enough in that library that makes it attractive at that price point. They're
even remotely.
Because what you're saying is totally valid. Everyone's skint at the minute, you know? Like, what? Now it's not like an easy thing to just not consider. It's like, well, hang on, that's a serious amount of cash. I could do something else for that 30 quid and I could still, you know, probably get as much entertainment for it. It like they're kind of positioning it in a really weird place now.
Yeah. It costs too damn much, and they're not thinking about the fact that people just don't have the money for it anymore. And it's just
the only
stupid.
comparable the Disney Plus Hulu ESPN bundle is now going to cost $29.99 a month. Like, that's the only comparable subscription service I can think of, and I wouldn't pay for that either.
Yeah, I've been Disney when they put it up by 50% as well. It's like, yeah, The Mandalorian's good, but it's not that good.
Yeah.
Well, hell, to the point where Xbox is the only subscription I have, because that's realistically all I can fucking afford, and they've just priced themselves out of, I can't afford this anymore. This costs almost as much as my internet does, and I have trouble affording my fucking internet prices. Like, no, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm not sure if I'm gonna even keep it. I might keep the lowest one just so I can play multiplayer games with Bri and them, but like, Game Pass at this point can go fuck itself. I can't afford it, so fuck it. Have other things I can spend that money on.
And it's not like
I can save it.
Some of us definitely have large backlogs and game libraries between multiple platforms at this point. So it's not like we're going to run out of things to play.
Like,
meeting the online services is, you know, the bare minimum that I need to pay for, and I'm willing to pay for that, like $10 or $15 a month, but not 30.
All right, I did some researching because I thought some stuff Aki said sounded weird. Netflix hit the 360 in 2008, and the price jumped $10 in 2010. So those weren't related.
Was it ESPN then?
No.
Was it that?
No, it was just a price increase because it had been $50 since the beginning, and they increased it $10 for a year. Like, I don't mind $10 a year. Even when it went from 60 to 75 for a year, which it is now, I don't think that's horrible. But going from 20 a month to 30 a month is ridiculous. And
and if they had raised it $5, it still would have sucked, but it wouldn't have seemed so
drastic.
Yeah,
like the
would have still
just
dropped
the shock
down
value of a 50% increase. Like, I immediately turned off my recurring subscription, and the little icon of the lady waving goodbye to you is now my Xbox profile picture.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, now I understand that. Okay. Fair.
But Yeah, the previous price increases were just price increases. This one they're trying to pass off as adding the Fortnite crew and the Ubisoft classics, except not everybody wants or needs or gives a damn about Fortnite. And if they would have upped it $3, I can understand that because it's 40 more games to play. If they would have bumped it $4 or $5 with Ubisoft, whatever. But I do not give a flying fuck about Fortnite. And just the fact that that's in there, I don't want to pay for it. I don't want to pay 10 extra bucks for Fortnite. No way in hell.
Yep.
But there's other bad news to talk about because Xbox isn't the only company fucking up. Electronic Arts has officially gone private in a $55 billion deal backed by Silver Lake, the Saudis, and bitch-ass Kooshner who can eat shit and die in a fire.
Yep.
That whole family.
And as I mentioned on Tuesday,
in that order.
EA is going into $20 billion worth of debt as a personal on the company as part of this deal.
Yep. That's a lot of
that
FIFA.
Is kind of scary. Yeah. That's what is that going to mean for devs?
There's a lot
like
of Ultimate Team packs people are going to have to buy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I already made the statement before, but we're done covering EA. I don't want to have anything to do with that company now.
Yeah,
and it's kind of sad that they decided to do this because the new Battlefield game is apparently like kicking all sorts of ass, and then they pull this, and it's like,
yeah,
leaves a very sour taste in the mouth. Now it's
Battlefield was getting so much hype. Battlefield was getting so much hype, and the beta came out, and then this news came out, and then Call of Duty was getting a lot of buzz, and then the Game Pass news came out, and apparently the beta is doing like shit now, like 150,000 players on a Call of Duty beta. I think they said Battlefield had like 600,000.
Yeah, that's low for COD.
Yeah.
I was hyped for Battlefield because when they're good, they're good.
Yeah, but the great thing about all this is I don't have to care about EA and I don't have to care about Xbox because my Steam library has like 2,000 fucking games in my backlog.
There.
So, and I've
how many of them are porn games that you've already beaten?
Probably like 20 of them.
1,900.
No, if only
20% of them.
No, like 20 of them. I have more than 20 porn games. I just haven't beaten.
Oh my god! No way! Really?
Yeah. Really? I probably have closer to a couple hundred porn games on here.
It's only like 21 or 22, I'm sure.
Yeah, totally. But like, so I have this big backlog of at least 1,000, probably close to 2,000, and it's like I've probably spent less on buying games on Steam than I have paying for Xbox stuff in about the same amount of time period that I've had both. And it's like, that's just painful. And it's because Steam sales are so much better than Xbox sales, just standardly. Like, you get stuff, typically, most games are 50% off both stores easily, but you give it like an extra year, and on Xbox it's still 50%, but on Steam it's like 80%. And it's like, and it just keeps going that route. Like, I've seen games that are like 95% off on Steam. I've never seen that on Xbox.
Gareth, can you chime in on this? Is there a reason why Steam gets much better prices than console?
Because they have
when it comes to sales?
I mean, I think there's an expectation on, like, we charge more on console than PC because some of it's just historic. Like, there's always been like a $10 difference really between like the PC game and the console game. So when we set the prices, that's always kind of the default. In terms of the actual sales, I can't give you a solid explanation for why, because if anything, I mean, the last 2 games that I've put out have probably sold more on PlayStation than any other platform, despite the heavy discounts on PC. So it's not like there's a revenue reason. I think some of it is just like the pressure of pricing on Steam is quite high. Like there's an expectation on Steam that you are going to discount at a certain cadence, and if you're like a year old, I definitely noticed it with Lumo and Seekonoid. Past that initial flurry in the first 3 months, you're not making really many sales at all until it hits the discount period. So you have to be in it every 6 weeks. And people are pretty savvy on PC because they, it's very easy to find out what the highest discount's been, and people will wait until it matches that or goes below it. And I can see that from the wish list numbers on the back end. The console side doesn't seem to be like that at all. You can vary the discount rates and you can kind of see the same sort of spike in sales on console all the time. The one thing that I noticed on Switch when we did the 90% sale, that did absolute gangbusters, and none of the other consoles ever came anywhere near that. So from my personal stuff that I've put out, it's very much platform dependent. And I think there is a pricing expectation. So like Xbox, when I'm saying earlier, nothing's selling on Xbox, that's because of Games Pass. Literally. Why? If it's not in Games Pass, people just don't care about it. PlayStation, it's not like people are expecting everything to be in PS Plus and then waiting for it. There's the expectation that, it's going to be on the PlayStation Store if you can find it. The discount there. Steam, people will wishlist it. They will literally wait for, at least looking at my numbers, they will wait for it to be a lower discount than it's been before, and then they'll jump on it if that's the right price for them. But like PC games have always been cheaper than console. If you think back even to like the noughties and the 90s, they've always been cheaper. So that plays a part of it. Definitely. Like I can't charge the same price on PlayStation, on Steam that I'd charge for PlayStation. It just wouldn't sell.
That makes sense. It's cool to hear that PlayStation is actually selling bigger than Steam. That I didn't expect that.
Well, I think the stuff that I make is like console-y anyway. It's built for a joypad. It's a console-y kind of looking game. Most of the stuff my entire career has basically been making console games. Even the stuff that I make on my own is kind of console-y. I think if I was making, like mouse and keyboard games, more kind of strategy stuff, more, emergent open world stuff, I would probably do a lot better on Steam than I'm doing, but I'm not making stereotypically PC games. So I'm probably the worst person to ask in that sense, because I don't think the stuff that I do is super popular on Steam anyway. Switch had the most sales on Lumo, if you discount like PS Plus numbers. So Xbox did nothing.
And that's why it's delisted.
Yeah, it might be. They just literally lost the binary because no one's bought it in 10 years.
Corroded. It rotted.
Well, you have one sale right here if that gets sorted. So
I'm going to email Andy tomorrow morning or this morning and go, what happened to that?
We could have news of a relisting. That'd be good, because instead we get to talk about delistings.
Yeah.
Pac-Man Mega Tunnel Battle Chomp Champs getting delisted November 1st and shuts down at the end of the year. That's what, a year old? If that.
I have no idea. I just know it has a long name now. Jesus.
Yeah. 4 Puzzle Quest games have been removed from storefronts on Xbox and PlayStation, with Puzzle Quest Challenge of the Warlords, Puzzle Quest 2, Puzzle Quest Galactrix, and Marvel Puzzle Quest Dark Reign all going bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.
All of them. All go bye-bye. And I think 3 of those were 360 backward compatible titles.
Oh.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. But the new Puzzle Quest re-release, remaster, whatever just came out, so I can kind of understand that one. Heartbreaking news, which our show has seen to follow since the beginning. Rock Band 4 getting completely delisted October 5th as it hits the 10-year anniversary of the title's release. They said DLC will delist as they hit the 10-year mark as well. So if you wanted the game, you've got like 2 days to get it. It's $10 on Xbox and PlayStation. Don't fuck around. If you've been thinking about it, get it now. Get the songs you want now, because they're all going away and they will not come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then let's throw one more little bit of bad news. Terminator 2D No Fate delayed to November 26th.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not that bad.
Yeah, I don't consider that bad news. I just consider that standard at this point.
Yeah, that's standard industry news. Oh, God, I'd rather hear about a delay.
Yeah. If everything on here was just delays, I wouldn't even consider that a bad news day. I would just consider that, is normal. This is just, are we sure it isn't Tuesday?
But yeah, that's my news. Aki, what do you got?
Nothing, because all my brain has been able to focus on is how just upset I am with the Xbox Game Pass news. That's all I can think of.
Yeah, that's fair. Bri, news.
All right. So, small blip on my radar, but Prime Gaming brand is being retired and being named part of Amazon Luna. No changes to your Prime perks on Twitch, though. So, whatever. They're just doubling down on Amazon Luna. Yeah. There you go.
What is Amazon Luna again?
That's their gaming platform.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Isn't that cloud as well, or is that?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
And some of your Prime Gaming perks would often include Luna games as well. So, yep.
Okay.
Karma: The Dark World, which I reviewed a couple weeks back, a month ago. I don't know how long ago it was now. Had some Xbox-specific performance issues there, finally fixed, and you can now play without stuttering. It was a fantastic game. Go play it.
Yeah, good. That went so fast.
That's what she said.
Yes, it is. I agree.
All right, what else do I have on my list? Shirley Curley, known as Skyrim Grandma, announced she'll be retiring from a decade of uploading Elder Scrolls videos by her 90th birthday coming up soon. She was getting bored with making content for Skyrim. She will, however, continue to be uploading other videos, other content, if you're interested in her other content, which is Bible study. But yeah, she's turning 90, and she's still going to be uploading content on YouTube.
Hey, kids.
Good for her.
Yeah.
I have a feeling we're still going to be doing this show when I'm 90.
I don't know. Video games may have ate shit by then.
I may have.
I know, but then we just review sodas or something.
I mean,
y'all might.
Neutrally Mountain Dew.
Yeah, but then it'd be a one-person podcast because you'd be drinking all of it, Joe.
No, I wouldn't be on because I would be dead from diabetes.
I mean, that's very possible.
That is possible too. Yeah.
Gareth, thank you for the follow, by the way.
I was already following you. Sorry about that.
Bri, any other news?
Yeah, I got two more things. Let's see. Just 5 days after giving birth, a woman known as Legion won a Mortal Kombat tournament while holding her newborn at the Juicy Game Night in Orlando, Florida last Saturday. She actually had a C-section due to complications and tons of pain, and she took her newborn daughter there to the tournament on a whim and kicked ass. So good on Legion. There's a picture of her on the internet of her holding the newborn in her lap with a controller, and I thought that was pretty cool.
GG's.
I'm still shocked her name's actually Legion. That's
it's got a 0 in it, but yeah, Legion. And then my last bit of news, Movie Watch.
Oh, I didn't know. You should have warned me. I could have had the button ready. I gotta find it. Hold on. It's Movie Watch. There.
Yeah, I love that.
all that fanfare for one sentence. Blumhouse Pictures is developing a Phasmophobia movie with the studio behind Megan, Insidious, and Paranormal Activity at the helm. So there you go. Phasmophobia is the movie.
Fantastic.
There we go. Use another button. Gareth, do you have any news that you would like to discuss from the past week?
No, I was literally here to shit on Microsoft. We've already done that.
All right.
You have any more Microsoft shitting you would like to do?
No, I can't believe it. No, I can't believe the timing. I was just like, oh no, you've done this just before I'm going on this podcast. How do I keep my mouth shut?
You don't.
Yeah. No
one should keep their mouth shut about this one. We need to make noise until Microsoft is like, yeah, we fucked up. $30 is too much.
I mean, even the hardware price is taking the piss. It's just like, oh, come on. No, I don't
think they have as much to do with that as the fuckheads running this country, but that's a subject for a completely different podcast. Yeah. Jacob, any news?
Bad news.
World.
The only news that I have is that longtime Mortal Kombat audio director Dan Forden has left NetherRealm Studios.
Ooh.
You know him because of Toasty.
Okay. There we go. All right.
And then Thimber is saying Prototype on Steam had its credits updated. There are talks now that we might see a Prototype re-release or remaster or something.
I saw a few memes about it. Apparently it initially bricked the game.
Wow.
That's more like what I expect. All right, there we go, folks.
Good times. Carnage news. I just hit 4 million gamer score tonight while listening to SML. God damn, Carnage.
Yep.
Congrats on
4 million.
I'll be there by the end of the year.
Jesus Christ.
When are you going to overtake him? Like mid next year?
I overtook him last year or earlier this year at some point for a little while. It was a very short period of time. There was a very short window.
Overtook him, madam.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Oy vey.
And then I, got engaged and moved across the country and stopped playing as many games as I used to.
And then overtook him a lot more. Yeah, buddy.
It's crazy people like you that mean I have to sweat making achievements, honestly. Fucking bane of my life.
Next game you have, just call Bri and be like, what achievements could I put in this?
Yeah.
I'll give you all the
1,000.
I'm not joking. I asked if it's possible to just put a button in the game that you have to press 1,000 times, and every time you press it, you get 1 gamer score. Because I would do that.
Oh my god, that would be incredible. But you could only access it at the end of the game.
Yeah, I don't think the back end supports it. I've asked a couple of times because I would happily do that. If you like them, you can sit there and you press that button 1,000 times, knock yourselves out.
There might be an upper limit on the number of achievements. I've seen games release with 100.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure Xbox does, and I'm fairly sure PlayStation had to change how their trophy system worked because people were exploiting to do like kind of cookie clicker stuff on that. They definitely changed their rules around trophies since I last looked. But I think on Steam, if I could be asked to type in 1,000, Steam would actually let me do it.
Well, I think you can do as little as 10 achievements, and you can make them all, 100 points apiece, and just like go from there.
Oh,
and just
Deep Rock released with 300. Wow.
Yeah, I've been trying to go through that slowly.
That's bonkers.
The bigger problem with it is you've got to you have to make a little icon for Steam and the trophies, but on Xbox it's like a 1920 1080 like full screen image you have to do, which is such a fucking ball ache. So yeah, it'd be like creating 1,000 icons and setting them up in the back end would be the massive problem. But
just
I could get away with it. Yeah, I'm not sure what the rules are on that. You might well be able to, actually. I don't think they would really care. But you have to have the images. They all have to be uploaded. You've got to do it one at a time. You've got to put the text in. That's got to be localized. Like the setting up the back end is a bit of a nightmare.
I don't know. I think you could just release a game called Push the Goddamn Button. All you got to do is push the goddamn button and you get all your achievements.
Yep.
Release it for $4.99 and it will sell on Xbox.
I could retire off that. I bet you any money.
Probably.
Do an Xbox One version, a Series X and S version, and an Xbox PC version, but make them all separate products and charge $5 each. And 90% of our audience would be ready to buy it.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, you heard it here first.
Push the goddamn button coming 2026 from AAA.
I'd review it. I have nothing better to do with my time. I'd review it.
We know you would.
Yep.
I'll do the voiceover that just says, push the goddamn button. And then that's all you, and then at the end of the game, after you pushed it 1,000 times, it's like,
God,
push
what
the
a loser. You pushed the button
game
1,000
over.
times.
Yeah, we're insane. Anyone have any more news, or are we tapped out on that?
I think we're tapped out.
Thank God.
All right. Well, with that, Gareth, I want to thank you so much for coming on, hanging out with us, especially at, what is it now, 4 a.m. there?
Yeah, it is. No, it's been an absolute pleasure.
And you've got to come back sometime before 9 years.
Well, it'd be an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for having a look at the game and struggling with those ducks.
I look forward to struggling with more ducks. It was lovely to meet you.
I hope you enjoy every single achievement you unlock.
Before you head out, give us all the info. What is the game? Where can we get it? How much will it be? When is it out?
17th of October. All platforms. I think it's a simultaneous release. Steam, Epic Games Store. I think it's $20 on PC. I think it's it might be $20 or $24 on console. I couldn't actually tell you. I didn't set the prices. But yeah, I think it's, midday 17th for you guys. It will be there. It'll be unlocked. Yeah, have fun with it. Enjoy.
Very good. Where can people keep up to date with you and what you're doing?
I'm mainly on Mastodon these days. I do have a Blue Sky account, but it's mainly a mirror off my Mastodon account. I do blog on my website. If you go to triple-a.eh.com, you can find me there. I tend to blog about my dev stuff. That's got links. There's a bit of YouTube when I get the time. But that's about it for my social media now. I don't hang on Twitter or any of that
we
stuff
dropped
anymore.
Twitter too.
There. Yeah.
Fuck that place.
Even Blue Sky, I'm a bit funny
for
with.
the devs who are still there.
Yeah, I'd left 2017, 2018. So yeah, I've not been there for a while. So yeah, I try and hide out these days. I'm not whoring myself as much on social media as I used to.
Yeah, we're on Blue Sky, and then Jacob shitposts on Facebook under our name.
Occasionally, I throw up YouTube videos of the podcast.
Gareth, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show, hanging out, chatting with us. Do you have any final words before we let you depart?
Nah, just thank you all. I hope you enjoyed the game. Let's not wait 9 years for the next time. Next time Microsoft do something stupid, I'll knee slide in and have a giggle.
Anytime.
In a week from now.
Cool.
Okay.
So apparently
so
we're going to be on next month then. All right. Great.
All right. See you next week.
You take care of yourselves. And good luck with the SML. Keep it going for another 10 years.
Don't put that curse on me.
Yeah.
Take care.
Cheers, gang.
Night.
Yes.
All right. Let us move on to reviews because, oh my God, got so many to talk about. You dive into these?
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess so.
First game to talk about tonight is Silent Hill F, developed by NeoBards Entertainment, published and provided to us by Konami. Thank you, Konami. Aki, say thank you.
Thank you.
Released September 25th on Xbox Series X and S and Xbox PC, PS5, and normal PC for $69.99. 1960s Japan. Shimizu Hinako's secluded town of Ebisugaoka, these words,
I don't know,
is consumed by a sudden fog, transforming her home to a haunting nightmare. As the town falls silent, Silent Hill, and the fog thickens, Hinaku must navigate the twisted paths, solving complex puzzles and confronting grotesque monsters to survive. Immerse yourself in the world imagined by renowned author Ryukishio 7 with entrancing music, including pieces by Akira Yamaoka, incredible composer, beautiful visuals in a gripping tale of doubt, regret, and inescapable choices. Will Hinaku embrace the beauty hidden within terror or succumb to the madness that lies ahead? Aki, what is going on in Silent Hill F?
All right, in this, you play as a high schooler, and she just leaves her house because her dad's a douchebag. Big shocker there. And you meet up with your friends, and then suddenly flowers start sprouting everywhere, including through one of your friends. Wait, what? That's not supposed to happen. Oh, and now there's things after us. Okay, we might want to run. And that's how the game starts off. One of your friends dies almost immediately, and you start running because what the fuck? And very quickly, you find yourself a pipe, and you start taking out these giant moving atomical dolls that have knives and seem to really want to kill you and everything else that moves. So, yay, metal pipe to the head. Woohoo! And yeah, that ends up being a good portion of the game. You fight those and a handful of other beasties, I guess I'll call them, for lack of a better term, that get progressively more annoying to fight with various weapons, be it metal pipes you find, kitchen knives, just whatever you can get your hands on, because it's whatever you get your hands on because they all break. So, that's great fun. Endurance mechanics for weapons, those are just something people absolutely love. The best thing ever. So, yeah, you do find some repair kits that fix it about halfway. There's not a lot of them. I think there's like 15 of them in the entire game. So be prepared just to throw things away, because realistically, you're just gonna have them break on you. There's no point in repairing them. Just make sure you always have at least one weapon that you can fix. As long as you got that, you're good, because you have enough slots for 3 weapons. So if you have 3 weapons, let them break. It doesn't matter. Just keep one. And you slowly keep shifting, kind of like you expect in a Silent Hill game. You shift between what's perceived as the real world and what's perceived as the dark, dingy world, except for in this one, it's between the real world where monsters are attacking and this weird shrine stuff where you're basically going through a very sick and twisted marriage ceremony. For anyone who didn't realize that almost immediately, that's what that is. Yeah, it's kind of weird. You do get some abilities as you play through the game. Usually they're stuck in the shrine world due to some of the things you do. Beyond that, you are collecting items to heal yourself mostly, but there's also items that can give you faith, or they can also heal you and give you your sanity back. And the faith is used eventually to level up your character, as well as unlock slots for you to equip little charms and to gather charms. The charms can be anything from like, every time you kill an enemy, you get a little bit of health, to, you take significantly less damage, things like that. They're not, crazy, but they are pretty important improvements to the game, because enemies are kind of brutal. I died a whole bunch of times, and I was playing it on story mode. There are a few enemy types that are just like the biggest sacks of dick on the planet. Now there are some problems with the game. One, the endurance mechanic for your weapons. I don't like weapons degrading. It just kind of sucks when you're in the middle of a fight and your weapon breaks and you're like, please tell me I have a second weapon, because I've gone through a couple of these recently, and only to find out that you don't. And you're like, so now I have to go escape and try and find a weapon so I can come back, finish this fight, and get through here. The game is set up. They tell you from the beginning, sometimes it's better just to avoid fights, and some of the creatures are just simply faster than you are, so there's no avoiding it. And obviously those are the most annoying creatures, because they zip around and they jump around and they hit you constantly, and good fucking luck. And as the game moves on, enemies become much more, just meat sacks that just take forever and ever to kill, and it becomes kind of annoying, because even though you're getting slightly stronger weapons, the HP that the enemies have far outclasses it, which becomes very annoying very quickly. Some of the enemies won't disappear after you kill them. Instead, they get brought back to life. So if you take something out and it's still there after 5 seconds, make sure you grab whatever you need to grab in that area and get the fuck out so you don't have to fight it again, or else you're just going to break your weapons for no reason. The story it's decent, but it doesn't explain things very well. Like, it is a well-written story, but it is executed fairly poorly, realistically speaking, because the game requires you to beat it multiple times. Kind of like Nier Automata did. You had to beat this like 3 or 4 times in order to get basically the full story. And you have to remember everything that happened between all of them, because cutscenes change between them as well, to give you new and different perspectives, different information, so on and so forth. So it kind of becomes irritating in that aspect, because the game doesn't really fully explain itself the first time through. And from what I understand from somebody who has beaten it multiple times, because I just barely beat it once during the time that I had with it, even after the second, third playthrough, it still doesn't fully properly explain things. They just explain fragments, and you kind of have to piecemeal it together at that point, because you have to try and figure out where this piece of information actually fits in the sequence of events and stuff. It's a really decent game that just needed more polish and thought put into it, I think. Because it has some major drawbacks in basically every area of the game, but it's really well done, just executed poorly sometimes.
Like, in what way?
Well, with the combat, you can't escape from everything. Stuff keeps breaking on you. You can't always find the good weapons that you need to actually combat things. The combat is very stilted feeling, so you have the ability to perfect dodge things as well as dodge stuff, but enemies sometimes just kind of ignore that, and hit you anyways. You have the ability to block stuff, and that kind of takes all the fear out of the game, because once you get good at either dodging or deflecting attacks, the game isn't really scary anymore, because every enemy has attacks that can be parried, which stuns them, allowing you to get free hits in. All of their attacks can be dodged, even perfect dodged if you're any good at that, which slows down time and allows you to get a hit in. So that kind of takes away 90% of all the fear that you could experience in the game when the enemies are no longer a problem. And for the enemies that stay a problem, they stay a problem not because they're a hard fight because they're just difficult opponents. It's because they're doing annoying shit. Like, there's one enemy that jumps around constantly, so when you run up to it, it hits you before you can make an attack, and then it hits you again while you're stunned, and it might just keep doing that until you die, or it'll hop away and you have to keep running up to it to try and attack it. And that is literally one of the hardest enemies in the game, and it is a standard enemy. It's not even a boss. The bosses are significantly easier. Even the end game boss is easier than this one base ass enemy, because it's an annoying little bastard.
Jeez.
That's it. And then story, as I said, they don't explain things very well. They, like, for instance, the marriage ceremony. You don't know who the second character is in it. The entirety of the game, it is never explained. You meet you learn of who the character is, but even after playing it multiple times, there's only like one or two instances where you are told or even referenced that this character is the person that's being married, and none of that's in the first playthrough. And that is a big proponent of the game. That is literally almost half of the game is going through that marriage ceremony and dealing with this individual that's in it. And you have no idea who the fuck they are the entire first playthrough. They're just some dude. And like that's just one instance of where the story doesn't really explain things, because that happens a lot, and you don't even know what all isn't being explained until you get through other playthroughs, and you're like, oh, I didn't even realize that I didn't understand that.
So it encourages replay.
I guess, but it's also irritating when you start to realize you don't understand the story because they didn't explain the story.
Yeah, but that's like the Nier games. That's kind of an intentional storytelling and gameplay device to keep you going.
But the problem is the difference between this and Nier is you understood the story of Nier. They just showed it in different perspectives. Yeah.
Did you?
Because they explain everything in Nier. And then you play through 9S's view, and then you play various weird endings, and then you can play through 2A or whatever her name is, through her perspective. But each one of them is its own fully explained story.
Are you
Whereas
talking
this
Nier
one,
or Nier Automata?
I'm talking Nier Automata, actually.
Nier. Saying Nier. Different game.
I don't know about that one, actually.
360.
Sorry.
You should play it. Silent Hill has a mention on the store page. This game contains depictions of gender discrimination, child abuse, bullying, drug-induced hallucinations, torture, and graphic violence. If you feel uncomfortable at any point while playing, please take a break from playing or speak to someone you trust. Do you feel that warning is sufficient, or maybe a bit too much, or what do you think?
One of the moves you get later on allows you to grab an enemy's head and crush it in your palm. So, gore, yes, definitely, yeah. The game starts off with basically your parents arguing and fighting. The more you learn about your parents, your dad's an alcoholic, abusive piece of shit, and your mom is like lots of people in real life. She kind of just ends up taking it because she wants to hold things together, and it spills out onto you as well, because, drunk alcoholic abusive pieces of shit are exactly that. So, family abuse, yeah. The drug stuff, you get closer to the end, at least your first playthrough, and it becomes kind of obvious that, oh yeah, this person is fucked up beyond all recognition and is seeing shit that may not necessarily be there. So yeah, I think all of the warnings are pretty good. And they're typically pretty serious about those. Like, they aren't skimping on shit. Like, for instance, the abuse, other than just the constant verbal abuse that you see anytime you end up seeing stuff from the parents. The dad throws a fucking big-ass knife at you just because he's angry. He throws bottles at you because he's angry in cutscenes and stuff. So, like, it's... Yeah, they aren't shying away. This isn't like, oh, it's gore, there's a little bit of blood on the bathroom floor. No, like, you grab someone's head and it explodes as you crush it. Like... These are there for a reason because they aren't fucking around. They're like, yeah, we're showing abuse and that it is abuse. Showing gore and it is gore. It's like they're not fucking about with this. So if you're sensitive to that stuff, maybe hold back. Maybe watch some Let's Play or something of it just to see if that's something you can handle. Because again, they're not joking around with this stuff. They are not minimizing it at all.
All right. Well, it is $69.99 again. This was provided to us courtesy of KONAMI. So, Aki, I want you to tell KONAMI, was this worth $69.99? And should people pick it up?
I think if you haven't played a Silent Hill game, this is totally worth it. But from everything I'm seeing, lots of people who play the Silent Hill games, I think if you're a big fan of them, I think this is more of a get it like when it's on like a 20 or so % discount or something, because it doesn't seem like big Silent Hill fans are enjoying this as much. And as someone who's not played any of them, I don't really understand fully why. But yeah, I think for the average person, I think it's a pretty decent buy. It's a pretty fun game.
Scary enough for you? Any fear P?
No, not even remotely. This was not a particularly scary game at all, actually.
Well, we're going to keep the horror theme going with Lego Party, developed by SMG Studio, published by Fictions, released September 30th on Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, PS4, PS5, and PC for $39.99. Lego Party is a 4-player party game that's built different. Compete against your friends in wacky challenge zones and 60 hilarious minigames across your favorite Lego sets like Pirate, Space, Ninjago, and more. Play your way. Join your friends no matter what platform, locally or online, unless you're me.
It should be fixed. You should be able to play it.
It is fixed. It is fixed. I just want to say to the devs, the publishers, we did contact you prior to release that we ran into an issue where all 3 of them were able to play online just fine, have a good time, sitting in Discord laughing, and I sat there crashing. It's fixed.
Yeah.
I could play, but I didn't get to
Joe
play.
Couldn't even get to the main menu.
I didn't get to play with you guys. And we never get to play again.
Well, maybe we can play this weekend.
Yay!
Yeah.
So how much fun was it? And what did I miss out on? Tell me about it.
It was okay, I guess. I'm not a big proponent of these Mario Party, Wario Party style games, so
okay, then someone else
just
start.
okay for me.
All right. So as we've established, this is a party game with a bunch of mini games, Lego style. There are 2 hosts of like a fake TV show that you're on where you compete in 4-player game filled with goofy mini games. And
it is always 4-player, by the way.
You can't play with less. Yeah. If you don't have enough friends, it will assign CPUs at the difficulty of your choice. Although, as we learned through experimentation, the hard CPU difficulty means that you are going to lose. The CPU is
almost
really good.
beat it. I almost beat
Almost.
It took almost half the game for it to overtake me. I was doing good.
You still suck, Aki.
You were. All right. So you do have to connect to Lego Party in the settings for online play and cross-platform play. It's not automatically online, which is probably a good thing considering that there's a younger audience for this, so that they're not just like jumping in and getting online. But it is cross-platform play, which is super cool. Actually looking forward to trying that out here sometime soon. I think one of our friends is going to join us in the future.
Nice.
Yeah, the tutorial is a bit sparse, but you can at least practice the mini games at the beginning of each round, and there are 60 mini games to play.
I thought that was a really nice feature that they added in, and I really wish more of those types of games would add that feature to it, because like it really helps allay some of the fears of, like, you know, especially like my kids, like they're just like, I don't know what to do about this, and it's just like, okay, well we can do a practice run without, like, you know, you don't have to worry about scoring or anything.
I thought training versions are like fairly common in party games these days.
Nothing I have that like they might show like very quickly, but it's not like actual.
I don't know. I don't play enough of them. I don't have friends.
It automatically gives you, you know, at the beginning of each round, it goes into the training mode automatically. So you have to actually ready up to get to everybody on who's playing has to ready up, except the CPU, who does it automatically, to be able to start the round officially.
Okay, now I know what you mean, because I know some of them have them, but they're optional. Like everyone has to agree and hit like the training button, and then you all go in and train. All right, that makes a lot more sense. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so there's 60 different mini games to play. Some of them are team events. There was a good mix of game types. There's some where you swing with a grapple gun and see who gets the furthest, collecting grapples along the way. There were some racing ones. One of the racing ones, you have to control each individual wheel.
Oh my God,
that sucked.
I hated that so much. I can't wait to see my kids have to struggle on that one.
Oh yeah, really, there's one where as a team, one of you tries to land a rocket on a platform and hold it there to get points, while the opposing team tries to knock you off, and whoever gets to the top first wins. So you got two players on each team. One of you is trying to fly your little rocket up to this platform and land it, which is rough to begin with. But then the strategy is you want to send someone from the opposing team over to interfere. And that just makes it even harder.
Yeah, and the robot's some bullshit. When it comes to that one, you're not winning against that robot.
That's getting fixed, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I think there was a patch that came out with some fixes like launch day. So yes. What other mini games did you guys remember that you enjoyed?
I like the one when you're standing on top of the puzzle and dropping stuff out of it. That was pretty good. The tumble one. Yeah. I don't know what I don't know what kind of puzzle I would even call that, to be honest.
So 60 mini games, good variety, would you say?
Oh yeah. And you can actually play all of them like as a solo player. You can actually go in and play them all individually. And practice on your own, which is cool.
And I actually got to play this with the wife and kids last evening, and I actually had way more fun doing local co-op with, like, not local co-op, but, you know, local 4-player with them. Like, it went far more zippy because we chose like one where you just play the mini games instead of the actual board game, which the board game, that thing's pretty wild too. Did you get to that, Bri, or no?
I have that in my notes to talk about next.
So okay.
No, it's fine. There's two main show types. There's the challenge zone, which is a race on a board game, and then there's minigame rush, where you claim studs in minigame madness, and then, as I mentioned, kind of solo player wise.
There's 2 on this show right now.
Oh,
Joe
in
and Aki.
Solo mode, there's a minigame practice mode where you can practice before each, and then there's score chaser, a solo mode where you get XP for trying to beat your best score in each of 5 mini games that they have set up for that. I think so. You were saying mini game rush was what you guys enjoyed, just playing the mini games, and whoever gets the highest stud count wins. I like the challenge zone, which is the Mario Party but Legos.
I think that's what I would prefer, doing the full board game thing.
Yeah, so you have a board. Oh, go ahead, Jacob.
I was going to say, I really like the board game idea too. We're actually going to be playing it tomorrow night as a family.
Nice.
So I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes.
Yeah, but basically you have a board, and to determine your turn order, you play a mini game, and then you determine how many rounds you have at the beginning. And then there's like a random roller. You select to roll 1 through 8 to move on the game board. And then on the board, you can earn studs, lose studs, get power-ups, buy gold bricks or power-ups. And there are special spaces that do fun stuff. You also get to build different themed side paths on your turn if you choose to land on a side path where there's like a potential for that. And then there, in that side path that you build, which has like some of the different themes like pirates and stuff like that, the different Lego sets, there's a potential free gold brick. And the gold bricks are super important in this mode. It's actually the goal to win is to get gold bricks. Otherwise, you have to buy them with your studs, but you also have to like land on the right space to get them. And I think that's what the three of us ended up playing a couple times when we all got together, and I had a lot of fun with that.
I probably would have had more fun if I didn't roll like below 4 every single one of my rolls, except for one where I got a 5.
Jacob actually had a special power-up that gave him all 8s except for one spot, which gave him a 1, and he still managed to hit the 1 on his roll. I was highly impressed.
I was so mad about that, and I'm not gonna lie, I was even more annoyed that like that's not an achievement, like because I felt a moment that dumb needed to be awarded.
Yeah,
recorded it.
Yeah. A couple other notes I have here. You can revamp or remap your key bindings and edit included mini games. So if you just absolutely hate one of the mini games and everybody agrees, like that one in particular nobody wants to play, you can leave it out of the mix so it won't show up in your games. I thought that was a nice addition to the settings. And then when you complete games, you get player XP and bonus XP towards minifigs. When you play the challenge zone version, there's different like XP for the individual side zones that you can build that'll give you special minifigs. And then you earn carrots.
Actually, there's when you're going into the big, I guess we'll call it the campaign one, there's 4 different maps that you can choose.
Yeah.
Each one of those maps has its own XP bar. And if you play in that mode, you get it. Yeah, it made it sound more like when you were in there, when you build a location is what it made it sound like you were talking about. I was like,
well, I was just mentioning those zones because those are the zones you build. But yeah, and then you can earn carrots that you use to buy and unlock minifigs. Yes, get in the zone. Oh,
the more minifigs you unlock, the more customization because you can actually make your own character as well, and it's fun. And mine's
I now have I have a mushroom. What did I say? I have a cat face. I have a mushroom cap head, and then I have a dragon body, like a red dragon body, and tail. Yep, that's my custom character right now.
Mine's just a freckled goth ninja. I'm good.
Jacob made a llama with glasses,
with sunglasses.
Undercover llama.
Undercover llama.
Jesus.
I love it.
I
love it. But,
AutoZone.
We got to talk about price on this bad boy if you're ready to.
Yeah.
Sure.
$40, and it is cross-play with literally every platform it's on. What do you think of that?
At $40, it ends up having to be a buy it for me if you like party games. If you don't, this isn't going to change your mind. But if you like them, yeah, I think this is totally worth playing. Especially at $40. That's a pretty good price, realistically speaking.
Cool. Bri?
I want to say one negative thing, and that is my least favorite thing about this game is the grindy achievement list. I can see this game going in my rotation for a while amongst friends, but it feels like a big blow whenever devs make grindy lists to me, like they don't respect my time. So that's like my one negative, but I think for the price, for the licensing, for what you're getting for this game, and that it's cross-platform so that I can play with people on Steam and everything, I would call this a buy it. I had a lot of fun.
Quick clarification on the achievements. Like, are they accumulative? Like, play 1,000 mini games? Stuff like that?
Yes, like play like 1,930 mini games.
Is there tracking?
I did not pay attention to that.
I don't know, actually, off the top of my head.
Someone fired up. Check your achievement list. See if there's tracking.
I am loading it up right now.
Do it. Jacob, give me your verdict while Bri looks that up.
So, I'm going to be honest. If I had only played that night that we all played together, and had just based it on Joe's difficulties getting it to work, getting used to the like odd controls for some of the games, and also like just like the ridiculous difficulty of the hard the hard mode CPU. Honestly, I would have left this at like a, wait for it on a like major discount or something like that. But then honestly, last night I played the local co-op with my family, and we had an absolute friggin' blast with it. Like, it was just great. And honestly, with that second revisit, this is like a heck yeah, definitely.
And I think it's good that you did that second revisit, and that showcases the importance of when we get pre-release stuff, we need to check it after launch as well, because of launch day patches. Those connection issues I were having fixed with the launch day patch. The AI difficulty being unbalanced fixed with the day one patch. So I'm glad you went and replayed this after the patch so that you could see the proper balance and that everything is working as it should. I was able to get into the game earlier today. I was putzing around with making a figure. I didn't get to play a game because I had to play Lumo, but no, that's the importance of checking stuff after release, because issues that we might have are gone.
Yep.
So there is tracking.
Yay!
And it works.
Yay! Thank God. So yeah, sounds like a good buy it.
Yeah.
Cool. Next up, Alien Rogue Incursion Evolved Edition, developed and published by Survios. Released September 30th on Series X and S, PS5, and PC for $29.99. Play as Rogue Colonel Marine Zula Hendricks in the terrifying first chapter of a two-part saga set between the Alien and Aliens films. Sent to investigate a distress call on the remote planet Perdon, Zula uncovers a secret Weyland-Yutani black site overrun by deadly xenomorphs. Stalking, hunting, and attacking at every turn, these xenomorphs' ferocity is matched only by their unpredictability. Aided by your synth companion, Davis-01, fight and survive using your weapon skills and sheer determination against a deadly xenomorph incursion in this gripping original story. Aki, you got to check this one out. This started life as a VR title, correct?
Yeah, VR on Steam, yeah.
And I believe PlayStation as well. It is now on flat screen. How is the conversion, and how does it play? Tell us about this one.
In the original version of this, it was VR, and it was a horror survival game. Kind of like Alien Isolation, but not as big or necessarily as hard. When they ported it over to what it is now, they made it more action orientated and less horror survival. So you're given a few guns. You don't have a lot of different weapons, but the ones you have are are a pulse rifle, a 6-shooter, and a shotgun. And the shotgun is king up in this bitch. So once you get that, just use it. It is amazing. You get the standard little motion detector that you always see in all of the media that's absolutely well loved. And it works very well. You very quickly start to realize they can be literally anywhere because these things are pretty great. They climb on the ceiling, they climb on the walls, they climb on the floor. Some they pop out of different broken vents and stuff. It's really nice. They made it feel very much like an Alien game, and I really appreciate that. To the point that it actually made me paranoid sometimes, because I would see a whole bunch of dots, and I was looking around, I'm like, I don't see these fuckers. Where are they? They're gonna get me. Because the aliens, they don't fuck around. They mess your shit up pretty significantly, very quickly. This isn't like Isolation, where if they touch you, you just die, thank God, because you are a Marine and you are used to fighting the Xenos, is what they're called in this. So this isn't no one knows what's going on. No, they know exactly what this shit is. They weren't necessarily expecting to find it at this location, because you're there because you're brother or cousin or something was like, hey, I need you to come here, get me the hell out of here, because this place is doing bad shit, and I can't tell you what it is because communications are, being monitored and stuff. So you go there to go get him and find out everything has gone to hell, and then you very quickly realize, oh, xenomorphs are out. Well, ain't that a bitch? Like, your character isn't particularly concerned or anything. They're just like, great, these little bastards are here. That sucks. Which is really refreshing, because usually in a lot of these games and shows and stuff, it's like they don't know what's going on, or they don't believe xenomorphs are real, and then it starts picking them off, and they start to freak out. No, this person's just like, yeah, this sucks. Just another Tuesday, a really shitty Tuesday for me. And I loved that. That was really amusing for me. And you're going around, you're cracking open different hackable systems. Usually all the hacking really revolves around is using a tool to grab a wire and plugging it into different power ports to get energy from one side of the screen to the other side of the screen. There are 2 different tools you need. You get them during certain different parts of the game as something that you have to collect in order to move on. So there are doors that you will find and containers that you will find that require the second tool before you get it. So you better keep track of where that shit was, because the map probably isn't going to do it for you. The map does show where a lot of things are once you've gotten to them. They don't just show you like, oh, here's all these collectibles. Boom. There you go. Go get them. No, they instead
what
they
we're
show you
getting?
rooms.
We're getting a sub from Raider Biz for the 42nd month. Raider Biz, thanks for hanging out. Enjoy the kitty cats. Enjoy the emotes. Enjoy those bonus contest entries. And Alien Rogue Incursion. This is it's sounding like a fun one.
Oh yeah, I really enjoyed most of my time with this. Near the end, as you go through the game, this place is infested with aliens, and you can kill them in areas and just move around kind of freely in them for a while before more aliens show up. But closer to the end of the game, they just keep coming. So if you start fighting them, you're just going to be fighting until you die, basically, or until you can run away and escape. So the point then becomes you need to be stealthy, and the stealth in this game isn't great. It's okay, but aliens are constantly moving around, and they can see you at a pretty sizable distance, actually. So if they see you, it's now a firefight, because all of them will know exactly where you are immediately. So it was great up until that point. At that point, it became really irritating, because it's like, I have all the ammo in the world, but not enough to deal with all these rat bastards.
So just late game balance needs a little fine tuning.
Yeah, keep it like the beginning, I think, because that was perfect. Because like, then you could, if you wanted, you could sneak around if you were low on ammo, and it was okay because there'd only be like two or three aliens in the entire section that you were in, and you could sneak around lots of those. There are also forced fighting sections where you end up going through a whole bunch of your ammo and probably collecting all the ammo in that area and using most of it too, which, yeah, they weren't great, but usually you could find a place where you could sit and you'd be like, well, I know they're going to generally move in one of these couple ways to get to this section, which makes it a little easier to deal with. So I always found a corner that I could get into where I could actually be like, okay, I know if they're going to come from this side, they're going to climb down this part of the ceiling right next to me. So I can keep track of that. And if they're coming from this side, they're going to run straight at me. So I just need to keep my camera in this section, and I can see both areas. And once they start coming, I just blast the fucker and then switch my view back to seeing both of them to make sure nothing sneaks up on me and kills me. So that was nice about the forced fighting sections. Nice. There were a couple of them that were forced fighting where enemies would just keep coming at you forever until you did something. Those really sucked because those were hard to do because you had because again, aliens can come from anywhere in this game, because the thing about xenomorphs is they can climb on walls, they can jump, they can fall from the ceiling. This game very much takes that into consideration. The pathing is for the AI enemies is there a thing there that I can touch? If so, that's a path I can take. So when you have to move through places and do stuff while there's just a forever stream of enemies, it is very difficult because they can show up fucking anywhere. Like I had to go across this extended bridge that was way up above everything else and play on this computer to get it to activate something that took a little while to actually activate, and the whole time aliens were on my ass, and I was like, okay, I got knocked off of there because an alien jumped up from like a floor and a half below me and kicked me off of the thing, and I had to run back up there to start it again, all while fighting.
Up from below you, and you looked at them, and you're like, below me, and kicked them off. The game clocks in at $30. There's a deluxe edition for $40 that includes 2 skins and an art book. Honestly, doesn't sound really worth it to me for the deluxe edition, but $30 for the game. What do you think?
Oh, 100% for it. And you said it was $10 more for the deluxe, right?
Yeah. It comes with a blue camo weapon skin, a blue camo armor skin, and a digital in-game art book.
It's probably worth it for the art book. The skins are meh, because you don't really... You can see the gun skin. You're not really going to see the character skin, because it's all first person, so I don't understand that. That's stupid. But I don't think those are worth it, but the art book's probably worth it, because the art books for alien stuff is always really cool.
Right.
I just can't wait for the next game, because like I got to the end and then I got to what I thought was the end of the game, and then it kept going a little bit, and then not long after that I got to the actual end of the game, and I was like super excited. It was like, oh, this feels like this could be an ending, but it tricked me once, and then it actually was the ending. I was like, oh, I want more.
I thought we got to the end of the review, and then it went on a little longer, and I thought, like, this is the end. But this is the end.
Exactly.
This next game to talk about is Arctic Awakening, developed and published by GoldFire Studios. Released September 18th, Series X and S, PS5, and PC for $24.99. It was supposed to be routine. A supply drop to an Alaskan town, autopilot on, guard down. You and Donovan were already planning post-mission drinks when it happened. The storm. Jacob and Aki both played this. Jacob, start us off. What is Arctic Awakening, and what is going on in this storm?
Well, the storm isn't one you can prepare for, or something. I don't know.
Ooh, it goes on to say it's lost to a howling tempest. Oh, I should have put more of the description down. Okay, go ahead.
All right. So you're playing this guy who's this smuggler who is delivering gifts, or not gifts. Like you're delivering stuff, food parcels and stuff like that up to this Alaskan town. And along the way, all of a sudden, like this should be routine, a little high stakes, but routine. And suddenly your plane tail gets ripped off and your partner is nowhere to be seen. Okay. And all you have to keep you company for right now is the court-ordered robot who has to check in on your mental health at the time and make you try to work through some of your past trauma.
And is such an annoying little shit.
And while you're doing this, while you're exploring different areas, when you first start off, you're at the plane wreckage, but you move on to other areas like what looks to be like a satellite dish farm, sewer areas, that kind of stuff. So it's just it is varied. But yeah, and it's just like a lot of wandering around, trying to figure out what you need to get next, where you need to go next, and collecting chips and bottles of soda everywhere.
And eating all the cookies or breakfast cereal cookies you can find. Because there's an achievement for that too. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
I have thought this was decent. The interactions between you and your co-pilot, I guess it is, are pretty funny because you're both military vets, and apparently something went down, and it isn't explained to you at first. You slowly get to learn more about it, as I believe that's part of why you have the robot. Is you have, I assume, PTSD or something from that experience. But the guy who's your co-pilot used to work with you in the military. He was part of your team, and he's just the most ornery little bastard you ever did see, and I absolutely adore him. He's great. He's great fun. And yeah, you guys get to talk with each other just like you get to talk to the robot, or mostly the robot talks at you. You get to choose the things you say sometimes, which is kind of nice. It allows you to show your character's personality how you want. Like sometimes you can be kind of like, well, fuck you two then, or you can try to make light of stuff, things like that. It's not gonna massively change anything, but yeah, it's really fun. There are some very simplistic puzzles, I guess I'll call it, where you need to find certain things and put them in different places, interact with things to open doors and the like. Nothing major. This is basically a walking sim game, so have fun with it. If you don't like walking sims, you're not gonna like this probably. This very much felt like Firewatch to me, but in an Arctic apocalypse. Because that kind of seems what's going on here, because you're delivering stuff, but it seems like the world, all the ice caps froze, the water level raised, and then froze over again, and now it seems like the world is freezing to death slowly, is what I got from the beginning. Yeah, this was very much a game I was like, Bri wants this. So yeah, you should get it, Bri. And yeah, I liked it. I did not get to the end because I got very confused as to what I needed to do. Because it doesn't always tell you exactly what you need to do.
It's not always follow the chips.
Exactly. I really would prefer, a cookie. A cookie. Would have been nice, but that's not always the case. Too. So am I.
$25. What do you think?
I'm for it. I thought it was a cute little game.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty decent. I wish there was a little bit more guidance as to what you're going to do next, but
that would have been nice, yeah.
But, I dug it. I don't mind that price.
Very good. Next up, Tinyland's Deluxe Edition, developed by Hyper 3 Studio, published by Hidden Trap, released October 2nd, Series X and S and PS5 for $12.99. Tinylands 2 will release November 6th on PC and Switch. If you're going to be looking for more, Tinyland's Deluxe Edition is a relaxing 3D game about finding the differences between two handcrafted dioramas. If you are looking for a game that allows you to just sit back and play, Tinylands is for you. I know we have a couple people in the audience who are going to be playing this because we were given a couple copies to give away. So gave away 2 PlayStation copies to people who said they wanted them. Did a giveaway for an Xbox copy. Big thanks to Hidden Trap. And if you know anyone in the UK or EU who wants this game, tell them to hit me up because I got 2 codes on Xbox or PlayStation Europe. Bri, what's Tinylands?
So yeah, this is a 3D find the differences game. You have dioramas you can rotate and zoom in on, and you can see both versions of the diorama in split screen.
What she's saying is it's hard.
It's hard.
I had so much trouble with this.
Okay, well, things will be different, like color, size, or position of objects. There's like 10 levels per world, and there's 10 worlds, I think. The worlds are things like forests and beach and Halloween and Christmas land and Western land, sports land, and so on. The console version includes all the DLC from the original game as additional worlds like amusement parks and pirates and fun stuff like that. But yeah, you have to have a certain amount of stars to unlock worlds. You unlock stars by doing previous levels quickly and efficiently. You can unlock worlds in almost any order if you have enough stars. I just went in order to make it easier for achievement tracking. This is meant to be a relaxing experience. It has good audio for each diorama. You'll hear appropriate forest sounds, babbling brooks, and the like. Headphones recommended. The graphics
it is nice. I can actually vouch for that. The headphones is a nice experience.
Yeah,
it's very ASMR. Oh shoot, what's the soundscape or whatever they call them? It's very soundscape-esque.
Okay, yeah. But the graphics are like polygonal and they're colorful. I do have one negative thing. The first time I played this, I had to leave quickly after I'd completed 2 levels, and the next time I loaded it in, it hadn't saved my progress.
No.
But since then, I've not had a problem. So I have checked that. I don't know what was wrong with that. If it was a quick resume issue or something along those lines. But yeah, it didn't save my progress. The menu is a little challenging to navigate. And the game wants to automatically start you at the beginning all over again, or at least that was my experience. You have to bumper through the levels to get where you want to go. And the DLC levels are on the main menu with no real label. So it was a challenge to find those. But it sounds like everybody played this. What else did you guys think about this?
I thought it was a pretty chill. I thought it was pretty chill, but rotating the camera was like to get exactly how I wanted to be able to look at it, like be able to turn it, but also like zoom in or out at it like a specific way. Like
Very
it just
difficult.
drove me nuts. Yeah.
I did not struggle with that aspect of it as much, but I do know what you're talking about. Like you kind of only have the one control to turn things on the right stick, and you also zoom in with the right stick, I believe. So yeah. I can see that being frustrating.
Yeah, and as the blind one here, it was very, very difficult. I did even zoomed in. I fairly often I'd find like 1 or 2 of the differences after like the second level, and then I had to just start clicking around until I found the other items that were messed up. And then I would look at them like, I still, even knowing that these 2 are different and zoomed in on it, I still don't know what's different about them. But Thankfully, the game doesn't change it. So There are achievements for like, beat levels within 10 seconds of starting, stuff like that. You can play a level you've already beaten, so you know where all the stuff is, and you can just go get that real quick. And that's what I did, because I was like, I literally don't know what the differences in these two pictures are other than these two. I know where they are. I don't know what they are, so I'll just do it real quick.
Cool. Any other thoughts on this one?
I like the graphics. I think they were cute looking.
Yeah,
they were.
All right, $13. Need some verdicts.
Yeah, I'd say it.
Yeah, all in all, I'd say yes to this one. If you like the kind of like find the differences puzzles, I thought this was really chill, and I can give this a buy it.
I think if you like this style of puzzle, it's definitely a buy it. If you aren't necessarily super into this, it's a try it at best, because again, I found it really hard. I don't know if just having better eyesight necessarily would make this super easy. It seems like maybe that is the case. So, but I can't speak to such a thing, so I just don't know. So I think it's a try it for everybody else personally.
Cool. Let's move on. Galacticon, developed by Radin Games, published by Flynn's Arcade, released October 1st. Xbox One, Series X and S, and Xbox PC for $5.99. Galacticon is a video game with the look and feel of early 80s arcade machines in the style of Williams, such as Defender and Joust, with the gameplay of the legendary jetpack and with puzzle elements. Jacob, what's Galacticon?
So Galacticon is a pretty interesting game. You have to... first off, it starts off as this like kind of well, shoot, how do you put it? It's like this weird mix of like Joust and Defender like style arcade game. And while you're blasting these alien like alien spaceships out of the sky, some of them are holding these like little alien animal things. I'm not sure what they actually are. But you have to pick them up, and then you have to put them into these like three little spaceships that are at the bottom of the thing. But the game doesn't tell you how the mechanic actually works at first until after the first level, which, as it turns out, these animals, there's like three or four different types, and they all can't, like, under certain circumstances, like certain types can't be with other ones. And so I just ended up sorting them by color into each ship. Like, I just skipped the BS and of trying to figure out what the heck, how everything was going to work. But once you load up all 15 slots, the ships will launch, you get some sort of bonus, and then you go up into space, and there is a different level, and this time it's more kind of like an asteroids thing. But interestingly enough, like, I mean, don't get, like, understand you can blast away stuff during this, but the game has this feature where you can upload your high scores, and when you do that, it will also reveal some sort of, like, you know, game tip or, you know, trivia related to the game. And as it turns out, some levels pacifism will actually get you what you need in all these levels. So it's like, it does combine that old school arcade experience, like with multiple game types, with a puzzle game. And I think it's really neat how it all comes together. The audio is fantastic also too. Oh my God. Have you
played Jetpack or Jetpack Refueled?
No. I have them, but I've never played them.
They're in rare replay. You should check them out and see how it compares to this. But sounds like this one seems to be a fun one. I believe Chris covered this one on the Switch previously. I'm glad Flynn's Arcade's releasing stuff on Xbox, and I love that they're doing Play Anywhere instead of triple stacks. So for $6 on Galacticon, what do you think?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Wait, $6? That's it?
Did I stutter?
I mean, sometimes you do.
Yes.
But yeah, $6.
Cool. Next up, 13, a final game of tarot developed by Indigo Dreams, published by Bad Minions, Little Giant, released October 2nd, Xbox One, Series X and S, and Xbox PC for $4.99 each. How long can you play with death? Death comes for everyone, and now it's your turn. Oh, that's grim. But you didn't expect it to want to read your future. Oh. Play your cards the right way and keep your karma balanced. The closer to zero, the better. Try to achieve the highest score possible in this roguelike. Bri, what's going on in your game of tarot?
So this is a card-playing roguelike based on tarot. Aside from the tarot, not something I would normally go for, because we know how much I like card-based roguelikes normally, but the tarot angle had me curious, and I am glad I took this one. The initial rules are simple. Survive as many rounds as you can. Keep the left gauge near zero, your karma gauge, to earn more money and points. And then if the number is too low or high when the round ends, you lose. 13 is the death card, and it nulls everything. Those are your basic rules. You have a tarot spread in front of you. It's a cross with 5 spaces. Each of the spaces has a modifier like 3x or negative 2x. As examples, you draw cards from the major arcana of the tarot, numbering 0 to 21, and place them in the slots. The goal is to keep the meter on the left as close to 0 as possible. With a little luck and some math, you can do just that. And if you pull the death card, it makes every card on the board worth 0 and is very handy to have. But there are pluses and minuses to that as well. So you really need to play your cards right. At the start of the next round, you'll have the same number of points left off with in the previous round. So as long as you don't go plus or minus the number of the bar at the end of the round, you keep going. I feel like I'm just jumbling my words here. That number, that target number, keeps getting smaller. So it starts off around like 50, I think, at the beginning of the game, and it gets smaller each round by, I think, 5 points, making it harder to keep going. So like at round 6, you have to keep your point total within 25 points negative or 25 points positive, or you die. In between rounds, you can take earned coins and buy different effects, like a sapphire that changes a target card to 0, a ruby that removes the target card and draws a new card, or an emerald that inverts the positive or negative of the targeted card. I had a rough time figuring out how to use the gems on the playing field at first. You have to place them on the card after it's placed on the field, but you really can't place anything on your last card, so you have to use that wisely as well. I think I'm making this sound more complicated than it really is to play, but I'm trying to describe as much as I can what it is that you actually do with the game. The music was really chill, like lo-fi. The graphics were really simple with a pleasant color scheme, good tarot card design. I feel like this game's actually really easy to learn, and I thought it was fun and addicting. It's very casual. You can do runs that last a few minutes or take up to several rounds until you fail. I had a really good time with this one.
Very good. It's $5 per platform. What are your thoughts?
It is like my surprise hit of the week. It's a great price with easy achievements. Buy it, please. Also to note, this will be coming to Nintendo Switch and PlayStation soon. And if you want to play this on Steam, it's like a slightly different name. But it's also available on Steam. So I would say check out this game in general. I thought this was really fun.
Very good. Next up, Cloud to Gold. Developed and published by XIII Games. Released September 30th on all the Xboxes for $4.99 each. Follow the rainbow, find the gold. In Cloud to Gold, every puzzle is a magical mix of logic and charm. You play as a mischievous leprechaun on a quest to push clouds, fill holes, and create rainbow paths that lead straight to the legendary pot of gold. The rules are simple, but the challenge is clever. Push clouds in straight lines, watch them slide until they hit an obstacle, and see them fall perfectly into place. Break objects to clear the way, redirect clouds with arrows, and master tiles that change the flow of your journey. Every move counts as you shape the path toward treasure. Across dozens of handcrafted maps, puzzles grow bigger and more intricate, constantly introducing new tricks and mechanics. What begins as a playful stroll soon becomes a satisfying, brain-teasing adventure where rainbows are your bridges and gold is your reward, whether you're here for a relaxing puzzle or just to conquer every clever challenge. Cloud to Gold delivers a charming, colorful journey full of wit, rainbows, and shiny treasures. And I almost said shitty treasures there at the end. That would have been a really funny intro. Aki and Jacob, both you played Cloud to Gold. What's going on in this one?
And this one, you play a leprechaun. And
don't. Just that. That was the worst Irish accent I have heard in like a good solid week. No.
She just said one word.
It was bad, though. Okay, anyway.
Jacob, continue.
Yeah, and so you have to push stuff into holes, and then little rainbows pop up, which, interestingly enough, the rainbows actually don't change direction when they're animated for working as your bridges, and so I don't know, it just looks weird. But then again, it's a $5 title. If you like these kind of puzzles, okay. I didn't think that there was that much to it.
Yeah, this
Aki,
one was
anything else you want to chime in with?
I think this one was a little more complicated than some of the other ones because making the path is sometimes kind of difficult, which was nice, but it got very irritating very fast because you end up needing to do a lot more pushing of stuff around than lots of the other ones just because the sheer amount of pathways you need to unlock. So all the levels felt like they took longer than they really needed to take.
Gotcha. Little bit of a concern on this one. One of our colleagues in the scene, Dwagonite, found that apparently a couple of the levels in this one are direct rips from a different game.
From their own game?
Yeah, one of their other
Soko Robot
games. Yeah. Oh, yep. Soko Robot. All right.
Oh my God, no way. The thing we'd suspected for how long? Oh,
Bri, did you look into this? Do you know much about what's going on with this?
I have not played it yet, but I heard the same thing from a different source earlier today. I will say it's the same style as Soko Mage and Soko Robot. That's as much as I have played the game itself yet, is to know that much, which is probably my least favorite style of Sokoban. But I have not looked at the video to see, how much the puzzles are copied or not.
The video I saw shows the first I think I only watched 2 or 3 stages, but they were identical. Complete same layouts.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't mind Phil putting out cheap games, but to just copy levels from one game to another, come on. We deserve better as customers than straight asset flip.
Yeah.
Yeah, so $5 on Cloud Gold. What do you two think?
This is one of the rare ones where I say pass, because it felt like it took forever to beat these levels, and that made them very boring for me.
Jacob?
I mean, to be honest, for me, now that I just found out that it's an asset swap, no. We already got this game before. Yeah. No.
Apex in chat is saying Dwaggy found 8 games that were copies that were just reskinned. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
I don't like that, but it also doesn't shock me. I kind of figured that was going to happen at some point. If it wasn't already happening, and now knowing that it's happened 8 times, that does not shock me, and that kind of sucks.
Like I've always felt that some of the levels in some of their games like felt familiar, but this kind of annoys me. Phil, do better, please. Treat us with respect. We joke around about the budgetness of some of the titles you put out, but this is just unacceptable. If either of you would have said try, I would have overridden it to a deny it. Asset flip, deny.
Yeah.
All right, let's see how their other one fares. Slide Viking, developed and published by Aphil Games, released October 2nd on the Xboxes for $4.99 each. Sharpen your axes and get ready to slide into adventure in Slide Viking. Every move matters as you glide across the grid, smash crates, and collect the treasure chests hidden throughout the kingdom. What starts as a simple journey quickly becomes a true test of logic and planning. You play as a bold Viking whose mission is clear. Gather every chest of gold the land has to offer. With continuous sliding movement, you need to think several steps ahead, undo mistakes infinitely, and break obstacles that stand in your way. The puzzles grow trickier with each level, mixing clever layouts and satisfying aha moments. The game features 30 handcrafted puzzles across 2 unique settings. Begin in the village, a humble place of wood and earth where your skills are forged. Then prove your worth inside the castle, the richest and most fortified place in the realm, with stone walls and floors that raise the challenge. Whether you're after a casual puzzle game to relax with or a series of smart challenges to conquer, Slide Viking delivers a journey full of brains, treasure, and plenty of sliding fun. Aki and Jacob, both you covered this. Aki, start us off. What's going on in Slide Viking?
In this, you play as a Viking, and you're sliding around like a dipshit. You're trying to slide into a chest because, heaven forbid, you just walk over and kick it open like a normal person.
Unfortunately, it's not sliding into that kind of chest.
Oh, that would have been so much better.
Jacob loves to slide into my chest.
I feel most at home inside Joe's bosom.
Gross.
It's so sweaty.
God damn it! I can't focus
like
anymore. It's so.
Especially when I cover you in oil.
We're just prolonging this. Aki, continue. Slide Viking.
So, in this, you're slamming into the chest, and you're trying not to slam into a bunch of spike traps. And occasionally, eventually, the levels get a little harder, and they start adding boxes that apparently this big, burly, strong Viking can't just pick up and throw off to the side. Now, he has to collect the same colored axe, and it just deletes them all immediately. You don't even slam into them and get rid of them. No, they're just gone the moment you touch that axe. Fuck yeah. Magic axes for the win. And you eventually get to where you have 3 different colored axes at the same time, and that's it. That's the game. Avoid spike traps and collect axes to get rid of boxes so you can smash into that chest something fierce.
Jacob, anything to add?
Not really. Aki was really fucking thorough on that one.
I'm thinking the intro I read was really thorough.
Yes, it was. It always is. There's not much to these games.
Because I now read the entire intro for Aphils.
Yeah.
$5. What do you think?
I think I'm for it as long as it's not an asset flip.
Yeah, I'm like, what do I do with this? Because it's just like...
I don't know which ones are asset flips and which ones aren't because they're all so basic and very similar. I'm not sure.
And I don't if this is not an asset flip, then it's a try it. If it is an asset flip, then it's a no.
So ask Dwaggy, I guess.
Yep.
All right, we got 2 more games to talk about.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And we are going to Kids Corner. George, take it away.
Kids Corner with Jacob and friends.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, developed by Headless Chicken Games, published by GameMill Entertainment, released September 26th on Series X and S, Xbox PC, Switch, PS5, and normal PC for $39.99. Dash into the enchanting world of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and embark on a holly jolly quest to save Christmas in this magical adventure inspired by the 1964 animated classic and releasing before Halloween for some reason. Journey through Rudolph's winter wonderlands, including Christmas Town, the Island of Misfit Toys, and more as you help Rudolph and his friends overcome challenges in their quest to save Christmas from an unexpected but certain holiday disaster. Experience joyful exploration, exciting holiday challenges, and cooperative gameplay in a fun and festive experience the whole family is sure to enjoy. Jacob, did your family enjoy Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
Yeah, mostly. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer plays, to me, it plays like a Nintendo 64 action platformer. Like something of that era, stuff like Spyro, Crash.
It's Rudolph 64.
Yeah, pretty much. It's Rudolph 64 with updated graphics. So
I thought the same, yes.
Like animations were janky at times, like you had unskippable conversations, controls are not the best, and also honestly the camera leaves something to be desired.
Wait. Are you going to tell me on this show that a 3D platformer has a problematic camera?
I am. And you know what's even worse than just a problematic camera?
What?
When your game has local co-op and you are now trying to play 2-player with a camera that like cannot spin without like making it seem like you're on a carnival ride. It is horrendous and infuriating as a 40-year-old man trying to play this and like just, you know, I can barely see anything. Why can't I'm just turning it? I just want to collect the bells. Like,
I like how you could easily have said, my kids were like, oh, this camera's annoying me. Nope, you're owning this one. I appreciate that.
No, because I'm honest with my reviews, and on top of it, my kids are like, "Ooh, shiny new toys! Heck yeah, we're checking this out."
Your kids are like, "This is easy to play. What's wrong with you, Dad?"
Yeah, right. No, I've like honestly, most of my time in this game has been spent doing cleanup or like collecting all the bells and all that kind of stuff while they're off exploring or like, oh, I'm gonna activate the next cutscene. It's like, no, I'm not ready.
This
I need to collect this bell.
I'm watching the trailer right now. I think I kind of want this game now.
I mean, nostalgia-wise, I want it.
It's simple. It's easy. Like, in single player, it's fine. In split-screen co-op, it is maddening. At least for me. But
I don't know. The store page says joyful co-op fun. Are you sure?
Well, my kids had joyful co-op fun.
Grab a friend, play in local co-op as you shout out with glee as you experience this cheerful holiday adventure together. Are you sure you weren't cheering with glee, Jacob, as you played co-op with your children who ran away from you as you tried to do stuff?
What?
They ran around trying to get stuff while you were trying to do stuff.
Oh. I thought you were like... Yeah, okay. That came out weird. All right.
Your booger came out weird. Get a tissue. Kids humor. Yeah, buddy.
Anyway.
I've added this game to my wish list.
We had fun playing it. Like, I had plenty of fun playing. And honestly, the fact that my youngest is in it and was just like, come on, Dad, let's play this. Like, I'm willing to overlook, while I'm playing with my kid. But at the same time, I'm also, in the back of my mind, like, oh, God, I hate this camera. So.
Oh, good stuff. Jacob, $40. What do you think?
Honestly, yeah. Like, I think this one's a good value for it. Much like the Grinch game, like, I think this could easily fit into, like, a family's yearly Christmas traditions. Like, you know, they always fire up the Grinch and now Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. You know, yeah.
Speaking of the Grinch, are we talking about that one next week?
Yeah, we will be talking about that one next week. And also Elf on the Shelf later on. I think it's November.
Interesting.
That we get it? I forget.
I'm just sad I didn't know this game existed until literally now. Because, like, the Rankin Bass stop motion movies are, like, some of the only Christmas movies I actually like. So, like, I am super
Nestor the Long-Eared Donkey is one of my favorites.
I think my favorite one was Santa Claus is Coming to Town, I think was the one with the Mr. Heat Miser, and Chillmeister, I think was the other one. Like, that was my favorite one. Fair.
Anyway, we got one last game to talk about tonight. Sticking in Kids Corner. We don't need the intro again. Sorry, George. Final game, NBA Bounce. Developed by Unfinished Pixel, published by Outright Games. We are Outright ambassadors. And they hooked us up with a copy to give away, which we will be doing at the end of the show. If you haven't got your entries in, get them in now. Massive thanks to Outright Games for hooking us up with this one. Everybody say thank you, Outright.
Thank you.
Stevie, I love you.
Released September 26th on Xbox One, Series X and S, Xbox, PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, and PC for $49.99. Ready to step onto the court with your favorite team? Choose from 30 NBA teams like the Boston Celtics, Chicago Bulls, New York Knicks, Golden State Warriors, Lakers, Nuggets, and more as you dribble and dunk your way to victory. Play on team-themed courts with energetic mascots and crowds. Can you beat the buzzer? Jacob, you played this one. I put some time into this. And I just want to start off by saying that I honestly didn't have high hopes for this game. It seems like kids' sports games usually tend to be more on the simplistic side, janky-ish animations, blah, blah, blah. This game's awesome. I had NBA Jam levels of fun with this.
Yeah, I agree with that. So you can play any of the 30 NBA teams, and it's 3-on-3 arcade kind of style, and like as you said, Joe, like NBA Jam like vibes with this. And one of the nice things that I liked about it is that you can also play as all the mascots if you win a game as your team, which made that kind of funny because I discovered that and immediately unlocked the Charlotte Hornets mascot because that's my favorite basketball team. Meanwhile, my kids were like, "Oh, we've played through 7 games so far, and like I don't know where you unlock the mascots." Which means that they played 7 games and lost. I'm like,
they take after their father.
I won mine.
So true.
Mm-hmm. What are you talking? Whatever. Anyway. But yeah, it has, so there are tutorials within the game, and they do start off with like a beginner one. There is an advanced one as well, which if you just want to skip and go straight into the action, you can do that as well. And you can also do like season play, just do pickup games. So it's a fun experience all in all. And I do appreciate that much like other Outright games, this one, like while it does have couch co-op multiplayer, like it doesn't have online. So like if you're worried about, your kids being safe online while playing this one, it doesn't go online. So
I think that is kind of a bummer. I would love to play against you online. I would have dunked all over you, and you know it.
I doubt that. I would have been doing a ton of 3-pointers.
I don't think you would.
Yeah, I would. But I guess you'll never get to know because there's no online. There's no online play for this game.
I like party mode as well, where they add little modifiers like a moving 3-point line or a lid on the basket that could close on you as you take a shot.
My kids refuse to play with that one. They figured it out, and like I sat down to play with them, and they were just like, "Nope, no, we're not doing just straight game of basketball."
I enjoy party mode. I appreciate that it's there. They have full season mode, they have tournament mode. There's a lot going on in this one, and
that's surprising. I'm not gonna lie.
Important part is it's fun.
Also
it is fun. A kids sports game done right. Like, this isn't just a kids game. This is like, it's just an enjoyable basketball game, arcade basketball game for pretty much everyone.
Yeah, it's solid.
Oh, and I see that it was developed by the people who did Super Volley Blast, Super Soccer Blast, and Super Tennis Blast.
I think they might know a thing or two about sports.
Yeah. Sports ball.
They probably watched a game once or something.
We could have used the sports ball shenanigans intro.
Oh, well.
Oh, well. Instead, we had Kids Corner, and we are wrapping up Kids Corner with NBA Bounce, which clocks in at $49.99. Jacob, what is your verdict on NBA Jam Bounce?
Honestly, yeah. Like, $50 is worth it. Like, you're getting a solid basketball game that's easily accessible to kids. Like,
bouncy,
go for
bouncy,
it, man.
Jam.
Don't ever do that again.
Gonna jam on your face and beat you in basketball.
I'd rather you didn't.
Slam dunk and kick you in the throat.
I thought this was still kids' corner. That's kind of violent.
Kick in the throat's fine. Okay, I'll kick you in the knee.
Thank you.
I aim to please.
Apparently not.
We're done with this episode. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out this whole time, keeping us company, being here, all that good stuff. Thank you massively to Gareth Noyce for coming on, chatting about Lumo 2 with us. That is out later on this month on the 17th. Add it to your wish list. Be prepared for that one. Music this episode. Obviously, with a game like NBA Bounce, the only solution is Bounce by System of a Down.
Oh, I thought
no, I'm joking. I am absolutely joking. There is no way we could play that.
Oh, okay.
It's just, are you?
No, I was going to suggest a different song. I mean, if we're going to go with a basketball theme.
Yeah, I'm doing From Downtown by Kunal Majmudar, Steve Lella, and Mustin from NBA Jam.
Downtown. Nobody knows that
basketball.
Nobody knows that old song.
I know it. I just don't want to sing it with you.
Why not?
Bri, do you have any final words to end the show since you've been quiet the past few minutes?
I posted something in the general that I thought was pretty funny. Someone created a Lego or got a Lego kit of a bunny rabbit and turned it into a face hugger. And we were talking about Lego and Aliens back to back. And I just, I don't know. I thought everyone should know about that. There you go. That's all I got.